give you more reasons to follow the homie Sil for the latest news, scoops and moves he's about to reveal. From coffee talks to special brews, I'm out of burgers for meals. A cup of bourbon with that tea that's about to get spilled. Like, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Take out your pen and paper, sit down and take notes. Sil is the realest among imposters, scavenging cutthroats. So, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show. Let's go. Between DC and Marvel, they both have a startle. Disney's moving finicky, let's not mention Star Wars. All these movie execs be drunk off their power, disconnected from the fans in the ivory towers. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. When they keep making the same mistake, that's what you call insanity. They can't even acknowledge their self-inflicted calamity. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go. Scoop Senator, coffee talks, also covering analytics, making his own reviews, cause it's always been the critics. They clout chasers, money driven, repeating the latest gimmick. Come over to Sil Nation where true vision is given. Listen, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Let's not forget Mikey's son, always special to the crew from day one when him and Sil got together for special brew. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go. I guess I'll finish on this note. When the niggas go flip mode, they turn gremlins, I'm Gizmo. Come from my people, my kinfolk. For them I ride for and kill for. With this till I'm skillful, you can really escalate till it all goes abysmal. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. I'm a watchman, forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go.
What's good? What's good? Oh man, this is the weekly show. We got some good energy in the chat already. This is the WB Paramount Saudis DC Snyderverse weekly show. We're counting down the ending of this deal of Paramount purchasing Warner Brothers, by extension DC. We're talking the facts of that deal. So I had my fan on. It's kind of warm in here. Get some air in here. All right. And obviously anything standing out with DC, notable DC news. Obviously, if Zack Snyder drops, we doubling back. We did a coffee talk during the week, and we doubling back and talking more about what Zack Snyder posted for the Snyder Cut announcement anniversary. So you see the topics today here. We're going to talk box office, of course. Supergirl. Is Supergirl cooked? Is Supergirl cooked? Like, yo, like, this was a film I was looking forward to more than any of the stuff that James Gunn was doing. I was like, Supergirl may be that one. Now I'm getting like a repeat of the Flash situation where I was looking forward to the Flash, and y'all know what happened with the Flash film. So I'm in my feelings this weekend, all right? It's a happy Memorial Day weekend here in the States here. I got an extended weekend off work. So, I got a full weekend. I got to go to work Monday. We good. I may hit y'all with a coffee talk Monday morning, Memorial Day Monday. We'll see. Lanterns, we got to talk lanterns more. We got Clown That Suit, but also too, There's stuff in the trailer that I liked from Lanterns, so we'll talk about it. Again, we talked the latest in the Paramount WB deal, and it's always about Restore over here. Much love to Sil Nation. Who we got in the chat? Let's see. Let's go to the top. We got Raven with the first comment. What's good with you, man? Rudolph Jackson. What's good? The Czech. Some Czech guy. I remember some Czech guy. Back in the day, I was just some black guy. So it's all love with the Czech guy. Shin was good. Carlos Silos, Real Talk Productions. You know, Night Views is back tomorrow. You sports fans out there, we're going to talk some sports Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. You already know. Let's see. Salty Freezer, what's good? We good. Let's get in. Let's get into these topics, man. Interesting stuff. Because, you know, last week, Carlos, you know, I was sick. I couldn't even talk last Sunday. So we're back this week. And that was my birthday weekend as well last week. I had a good weekend. I was just sick. I'm still recovering, but we're good enough to jump in here and talk these topics. Some very interesting stuff we're going to talk about today. And, you know, we're just going to jump on into this right now because y'all know I love the CBM Geek News. But I love my box office as well, too, right? Box office battle. Box office battle, the latest in the box office forecasts and performances. For sure. We'll throw this up like this. Now, I did touch on this. I did a pop-up coffee talk this past, I think, was it Thursday? And we had these numbers, not just a little update about a couple of these films, right? So first off, Mando Grogu. This was projected to be the number one film. Obviously, I mean, it's opening Memorial Day weekend. It's gonna be a number one film, at least for this weekend worldwide. You got Michael was projected to be number two. And then at that time, again, we're talking about Thursday, Devil Wears Prada and Obsession, the breakout hit Obsession, the film that they spent less than $1 million to make. They made $2 million day one. So they was in profit day one. Amazing story with Obsession, but they were fighting for number three. That's what we thought Thursday. But things have changed. Right? So first with Mando Grogu. I haven't seen this yet. I'm gonna see it this weekend. I'm seeing about 4 films this weekend. Like, this is a great time for theater goers. I'm seeing Mando Grogu. I'm seeing Mortal Kombat 2 again. You nerds out there and geeks, y'all better go see Mortal Kombat 2. Like, just if you know anything about the game, go watch Mortal Kombat, okay? Obsession, I gotta see that in theaters. And Michael, I'm gonna see Michael again, right? So I'm seeing 4 films, probably like 2 one day and then 2 on Monday. That's maybe what I'll do. But Mando Grogu, I'm looking forward to seeing this. Word of mouth is great. A- cinema score. This is great. This is good because you got a streaming show going to theaters. Now, I know, like, the whole Star Wars thing is supposed to be like a breaking box office records every time. We're past those days, right? This isn't this isn't the episodic days of Star Wars anymore, right? We just gotta accept that. I remember the prequel days. That was probably the best time for me as far as for Star Wars, when they dropped episode 1, 2, and 3. Then the Disney sequel trilogy, Force Awakens came out pretty good, and then it just fumbled everything after that, right? And that's where Star Wars is at right now. So this is kind of like a recovery film, and the audience is responding pretty well to Mandalorian and Grogu. And I'm happy to see this. Again, just for theaters, I'm happy to see people are like, hey, this is a family fun film. Grogu's still a baby. He didn't progress Grogu at all, but okay. He's still baby Yoda. Cute Yoda, baby. Some good action with Mando. That's all I want from this film. You know, they may wrap up this whole story. They may do like a season 4 and just wrap up this Mandalorian story, because you're running into the the OG trilogy and the prequel and all. So you got to kind of wrap this up, right? So this was a safe film, and I think it's going to make the necessary money. I think it's going to get over 100 million plus for Memorial Day weekend. So I'm just saying, I'm cheering this on. I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard enough about it. Now season 4 may happen. I don't know why you're saying it's not going to happen. Let's see. The film pretty much leaves it, as far as what I heard, the film leaves it open for a season 4. Let's see. This is what we're saying in the chat here. Music City, you saw Mando Grogu? Yeah. Like I said, I've been hearing good stuff about it. I mean, is it like the best Star Wars film ever? Like, that's not what it's trying to be. It's taking the IP that you fell in love with on a streaming show. I remember day one, Disney Plus, The Mandalorian, episode 1. They were hiding the reveal of Baby Yoda. And I was at work when the episode dropped. And I looked online and the internet went crazy. It broke the internet. Baby Yoda. So that was like a good moment for just a Star Wars franchise. So they're trying to bring that magic to the big screen. I'm cheering them on, man. I want this to do well, actually. And from what I'm hearing is that it's a solid family-friendly film. So the thing with this film, I think it has to make like 500 million for the profit number. I think it's going to make it. If you get 100 million opening, it's talking about domestically. So that means internationally may double that. So this film likely will make a profit. So again, according to the word of mouth. So I'm happy about that. I think it's going to do well. I think it's going to. I'm looking forward to seeing it. No, it's nothing groundbreaking. It's just, if you like the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, then this film's for you, right? Oh man, yeah. My favorite Star Wars moment, because I was too young, I don't know, was I even born when the original Star Wars came? I wasn't even born yet when the first Star Wars came out. But I remember going to the theaters watching Return of the Jedi. I do remember that vividly. And then you kind of fell in love with the franchise, watching it at home. The prequel trilogy, that was for me. That was like for my generation, Gen X, millennials. And I enjoyed every drop, even though Jar Jar was an idiot in episode 1. Attack of the Clones episode 2, I thought I had a great time. Yoda went off in the climax of that film. And then Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars film. I know, again, I'm a general Star Wars fan. There's people out there who's like hardcore Star Wars. They say Empire Strikes Back is the greatest film ever in Star Wars lore. I like Empire Strikes Back. I do. I like it. The original Star Wars, I like it. It's good. Revenge of the Sith clears everything to me. Revenge of the Sith, I remember being in theaters for Revenge of the Sith and watching Anakin's turn, and he's like murking babies and everything. It's like, it was crazy. It was very effective. And I just go on record saying Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars film ever. I do like Empire Strikes Back. I do like that film, but it's Revenge of the Sith for me. I'm just gonna put it out there. Of the Disney sequel trilogy, I only accept Force Awakens. I accept that as like an epilogue film. Everything else after that, I'm not watching it again. I tried to watch Last Jedi. I think it was like 2 Star Wars days. It was like 2 years ago. I tried to rewatch The Last Jedi, and I couldn't get through it, man. I was like, I can't. And we ain't gonna talk about Rise of the Skywalker like that. I don't accept that as a film. Okay. So I accept Force Awakens. That's a good epilogue. You probably should have had a moment where the original Trinity was, Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, R2D2, C3PO. They should have had one more moment together. That's the only thing they messed up in Force Awakens to me. If you're going to kill off everyone, that's fine. But have that one last moment together. That's what they messed up with Force Awakens. But Revenge of the Sith is the greatest Star Wars film to me, man. It just is. We need Star Wars in theaters. Went to premiere last week, saw it IMAX. Yeah, I'm going to see this in IMAX. I'm going to try. The closest to see out here in Louisville, Kentucky, the closest IMAX to me is probably like, I don't know, like 20 minutes away. So I may check it out. I went to see Sinners in IMAX, so I'll do this for Mando Grogu as well. Star Wars is dead. I thought this film was season 4. Technically, you know, so with Mandalorian, they messed up making season 3. They messed up. Like, I don't know what they were trying to set. Like, they messed up with season 3. They had Lizzo, bro. They had Lizzo in season 3. I can't take you seriously if you got Lizzo in your show. So I knew they phoned it in. But this film, in a sense, again, from what I heard, and Carlos, I know you've seen it in Music City. Let me know. I haven't seen the film yet. From just what I heard, this is leaving the door open to have like a final season. Let me know in the chat if you've seen the film. You're not spoiled nothing, but that's what I heard, that they can do a season 4 and wrap this up. And this is just an event film. Have fun with the family, and then we can close this because you can't go anywhere with the story. You can't go anywhere, you know, because you're running into the original trilogy at this point. Music City says safe film indeed, but this isn't a knock on it at all. Dope stuff, fun time for sure. It does wrap up the story. Okay, okay. So this answers what I was just asking. So I think this is what I think is going to happen. Is they're going to do a season 4 and wrap up, was it Din Djarin? What's the Mandalorian story? You got to end his story. And I'm a fan of this idea of going out Logan style. I think that would be wonderful. Do a Logan style Mandalorian, you know, series ending season. Because he doesn't show up. And, you know, that's a mistake you make jumping back in time. You got to end these stories. So have him go out Logan style. Grogu, I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know how you're going to end Grogu, right? Unless you have him show up in the Beyond Starfighter, Star Wars Starfighter, and then throw Grogu in the future. I don't know. But you got to end Mandalorian story. And I say go Logan style. That's what I say. But I'll have to see the film. People saying Star Wars is dead. No, this film's making money. Again, this film's going to make money. I'm showing the audience score right here. It's going to be over 100 million plus opening weekend, over 200 million plus worldwide. It's going to make its profit. So this was a very safe idea right here. And then Star Wars Starfighter with Ryan Gosling next year. It's going to make money. They're going to have a Jedi in that film as well, too. Just to kind of spoil that to y'all. So they're going to make money with these films. Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat. Last season of Mando wasn't even about Mando. Yeah. It does a terrible. I would never rewatch that season again. As far as the budget on record, again, I don't pocket watch. So, I mean, I guess some people, they have fun doing that. But what they're putting on their sheets, their financial sheets, is $166 million. So you can fight with that all you want. They're gonna present that to their investors, and they're gonna spin that they're making a profit. So if that makes you like gnash your teeth and yell at the sky, I'm not even worried. I'm not even that seriously concerned, to be quite honest with you. Hey, I'm saying Revenge of the Sith is the greatest Star Wars film ever. Fight me. I was someone who felt like I had to like Revenge of the Sith behind closed doors. Revenge was fun AF for younger me. Yeah, it was just a great time. That was our generation, bro. Like where we wasn't alive when the first Star Wars came out. So And we heard about Star Wars our whole life. And then we got the prequel trilogy and Revenge of the Sith, I thought landed for us. I'm talking about generational, millennials, or younger, I guess at that point. That was it for me. Sith was the first I saw in theaters 6 years old. That explains everything about you, CY. That explains everything. 6 years old, you saw Anakin murk babies. That explains everything about CY. Much love. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. It was the best. It was the best lightsaber battle ever. Anakin versus Obi-Wan. It cleared everything. Are we serious right now? Episode 1, you had Obi-Wan, Darth Maul was okay. That was good. That was actually really good, actually. And you had Qui-Jin, you took out Qui-Jin, and that was a good fight. Revenge of the Sith, Anakin versus Obi-Wan cleared every lightsaber battle. Episode 1 cleared everything until episode 3. You know what I'm saying? That just is what it is, man. Yeah, I'm with you. Revenge of the Sith was an experience. It was amazing. It was amazing. Shan says, I went to LA for Revenge of the Sith, went to episode 3 and Revenge of the Sith in the same day. That's what's up. Yeah. That was definitely an experience. Thank you, Music City. You saw Mando Grogu already. Carlos says it as well. No, season 4, I'm hearing season 4 may actually happen. Especially if this film's they're not going to go to theaters again. I don't see this going to theaters again, but this is enough juice to say, let's make a season 4 and wrap up. Again, go Logan style. Have them go out guns blazing. I would love to see that. All right. Good stuff. Lizzo was a no. Supergirl likes it. It is okay. All right. Okay, you keep talking about, again, I don't check guy. I don't care what everyone's saying as far as, oh, we found it, spent more money. I'm telling you what they're putting on their financial sheets. 166 million is their budget. They're going to spend a profit if it gets over 500 million. Again, you could fight with that. You can do whatever you want to do with that. It doesn't affect me at all if this film loses money or whatever. They're saying that's the number, and it's on track to make a profit. Again, I don't worry too hard about that, y'all. I'm just letting you know that's the number. So that's one thing. I'm looking forward to seeing this film. Number 2 on that list, as we saw projected, was the Michael film, right? It's all about Michael too right now. It's just really cool seeing people responding to the Michael film. It's like a concert, going to see it. I'm going to go support it again. I think it's already crossed, 700 or 800 million worldwide, between that range. Don't quote me too hard on that, but I know it's over 700 million at least. It's just open in Japan. I don't see this making $1 billion, but again, it doesn't matter. That's an arbitrary number. I do feel this film's going to fall just short of $1 billion. They already greenlit the sequel. And the great thing with Michael too, reports out there is that there's a lot of stuff, a lot of moments you didn't see in the first film, and they kind of jumped you to the bad era, right? I'm bad. And I think Librarian Girl and all those those songs, classic songs that he made on that album, they may jump back and kind of relive some moments from the Jackson 5 era and the Thriller era, and it pushed the film. We're talking about part 2, and it push it through the bad era, setting up Dangerous era. Dangerous era could be a whole nother film. So I heard this a couple months ago. I say a month ago. They may end up making 4 films for Michael Jackson. Like, you think like a trilogy. Okay, that's great. Do a trilogy. They may make 4 films of this man. And again, he's the greatest entertainer ever, king of pop forever. No one can touch what Michael Jackson has ever done. People are just trying to catch up. 5 will be great. That'd be great if they do 5. I'm hearing 4. 5 would be great. So the next film could be kind of reliving some moments, then doing the whole bad era, setting up Dangerous. Then the Dangerous era could be a whole film by itself. And then the 4th film could be the history when him and Janet does Scream, and he's fighting a lot of allegations, even because he's going to fight allegations in Dangerous era. And then you can have the fallout. And then you could do 5 where if that'd be a tough film to make where he comes to his end. That'd be a pretty tough, because then you could do the Invincible era at that point. We got Butterflies, and that's a classic album in itself. If people don't know his label, he was fighting with his label. They didn't want to promote his album, Invincible. So I see 5 films. I heard 4. I could see 5. You could do a lot with Michael's story. It'll be really tough if they do the film. He ends it with his dad. That'd be a really tough film. But business-wise, you're gonna make money off of that, right? It's like it's tough, but they really can go all the way with that. What we got in the chat here? Mike is the GOAT. I see people trying to compare themselves. You got Drake, which, and I'm not gonna make this like a music stream, but I may start on another platform. I may start doing more pop culture and music stuff, and we'll talk about that another time. But Drake, he dropped 3 albums recently. Iceman, and he has the Michael Jackson glove on the cover. It's actually not a bad album. The Iceman, I haven't listened to his other 2 albums. Drake, I haven't listened to his other 2 at all. Iceman is decent, but stop trying to compare yourself to Mike. Don't do that. Drake, get your numbers, because you're a popcorn, you're a machine artist. Drake, we know how this works. Take your numbers, but don't. Michael didn't need that push. Michael was real. That was a real thing. Michael broke barriers over to get his numbers. Drake, you just kind of came in and had people buy bots for you. But I like the Iceman album. I actually like it, but I'll talk about that another. We ain't gonna get too much into Drake right now. Hey, before I talk about music, let me reset myself. Smash the like. Make sure you subscribe. This is not a Drake stream. This is not a Michael Jackson stream. We just talking right now. Smash the like. Make sure you subscribe. Y'all turned out really great these last couple of streams, man. And I really appreciate it. This YouTube game, I'm gonna be really honest. If you're not buying bots out here on YouTube, then you need the organic push. You need people to smash the like. You need them to comment, share the video. So keep doing what y'all doing, man. It's been a great turnout these last couple of weeks. Oh, and just side note, Jules is not here this week. She'll be out this week and next weekend. Well, I'm gonna try to get some of her comments during the week. We'll try to figure out something, because I know the streets love Jules out there. So we're gonna get her back on here. She's busy right now. So let's catch up with the chat. What we saying? Mike's the GOAT. Yeah, he's the GOAT ever. We may see that. Yeah, that'd be great if they recreate that, right? Dangerous era will be fire. Get Teddy Riley. Yeah, it's like you gotta have Teddy Riley, because Michael was trying a new sound. He was changing with the times. Was that early 90s? I want to say. Dangerous. Yeah, it was early 90s, because History came out in 97, I believe. That's what Scream, him and Janet, right? So that would be great if they recreate that. And again, if they do these films where they're kind of flashing back, just like they did the first one, they flash back to when he was young Michael, then they go to the future. That's a template. You could do about 4 or 5 films doing that, right? Yeah, History Tour, my goodness. Good stuff. Yeah, they're gonna milk this. They're gonna milk this. This is how I see it. No matter what artist they use to compare, they always compare those artists to the one. Yeah, that's when you know you're the GOAT. Just like with basketball. Again, I don't want to get sports. I don't get too much sports right now until Night View Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. But everyone's compared to the GOAT, Michael Jordan. Even though Bill Russell won more championships, the GOAT's Michael Jordan, right? Because you're talking about not just winning, the skills, right? The killer instincts. Yeah, I'm just, I know maybe some LeBron fans out there, but I'm just saying, there's a reason why Michael's the GOAT. There's a reason why I'm talking about Jordan's the GOAT. The reason why Michael Jackson's the GOAT, right? Just saying. We got a super chat here. Shout out to Paul. Y'all funny in the chat. Paul says here, have you heard anything about Rebel Moon animated series being in the works? So that was an old story, Paul, right? And let me see. I was just actually talking to someone about this. I was trying to look into that. Rebel Moon animated. And I feel if Netflix, if they're not going to allow Zack Snyder to do live action, he was already planning animated projects, right? There's no concrete release date yet, as far as with that. It was supposed to be like the Cali animated series or film, and just the talks went quiet on that when Netflix kind of, didn't really back up Zack Snyder enough, in my opinion, after Twilight of the Gods, right? So we're kind of in limbo with that. And at this point, yeah, I'm not seeing, I was asking someone about this, and I'm not seeing any updates with that animated. It was supposed to be a short film, actually. And that's just another L for Netflix, in my opinion, Paul. And that's kind of why, as Snyder fans, we're going to support people who support Zack. And I see people still, holding to the Netflix angle with this. And I mean, it's not for me to police that, but it would be nice if they have another Zack Snyder project for me to support them. And they turned down The Last Photograph. They didn't want Zack Snyder's film. And then Zack Snyder has the Brawler film he's doing. It sounds like it's with Paramount. So it's kind of tough with Netflix, man, right? We just deal with the reality, man. I mean, people have their own agendas and they want to push the Netflix thing. It's just, nothing's materializing, bro. I had to give you that drop though, real quick. Much love. I got people over on Facebook showing some love. Much love to Facebook. Again, this is a good moment to remind y'all, smash the like, make sure you still subscribe. This is what pushes these videos. Y'all been doing a great job these last couple weeks. We got some Zack Snyder stuff later. We got some DCU stuff, whether you like it or not, coming up as well. Appreciate that, Paul. Let's see here. Catch up what we got here. Yeah, it's still old news with the animated stuff. It's nothing new. Nothing new with that. Rebel Moon 3. Again, Netflix. This is on Netflix. And what I heard is that Zack has Rebel Moon 3 and 4 ready. And he's ready to do the director's cuts. He's ready to go all in. And Netflix has to step up. It's crazy. Paramount should get The Last Photograph. I hope they do. There'll be a nice synergy with that. If, he's already working with Paramount with the Saudis for Brawler. Paramount, go on and pick up Last Photograph. We're going to support that film. Visually, he got some good stuff going on with that film. Armyverse, right? It's a lot of stuff that Netflix should be doing. They're just not doing it. Yeah, it's unfortunate. So good stuff with the Michael. Again, according to this, it was on track to be number 2 this weekend, getting about 20 million. But there is a new contender that may take out Michael this weekend. This is an amazing story. The Obsession film. My goodness. I love good theatrical stories. I as far as the story behind it. This Obsession film, they spent less than $1 million to make this film. It made, I think, $2 million for its early previews. So it was in a profit day one. Unheard of, right? They made $17 million its opening weekend. Great, right? And shout out to Indy. She was in Superman and Lois, right? Lana's daughter, the girlfriend of Jordan Kent, off again, on again, girlfriend of Jordan Kent. I thought she did great in this film. She's going to get a lot of work off of this film. So week in one, they made $17 million. That's great. I mean, you're already in profit. You're profit. You're throwing. You're Scrooge McDuck, right? You're diving into money, right? They're on track to make 20 million plus this week. This second week, it's going to go up. And this is crazy. The last thing we saw this was Sinners. Well, Sinners came out then like 40 million opening weekend. Then it did another 40 million the second weekend. It became a phenomenon. Sinners won awards, everything, right? And it's that good of a film. Obsession is this year's Sinners. Because it's actually going to make more money its second weekend than its first weekend. Insane. And it's a very simple story. It's smartly done, but it's a simple story. Again, as we talked about, I talked about this past week. The premise of the film is that, you got this loser guy. He has a crush, on this girl, but he can't tell her. And she looks at him as a brother. She's friend zoned at him. So he has this wish. He makes it a wish, and he makes her fall in love with him. But I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's unnatural. And that's the creepy part of the story, right? It's unnatural. So what does that do? What do you do when you force someone to love you? It gets a little creepy. It's some unsettling things. If you're not a horror genre fan, there's going to be some unsettling things in this film for you. But it's so smartly done. And at the end of the film, you're just like, oh, crap. Like, y'all pulled that story off pretty good. They pulled it off pretty good. So, this is definitely a theatrical film to check out if you're good with that genre, right? If you're good with that genre. We got Super Sly with Super Chat. What's good? Says, don't see Mando breaking even between Scary Movie 6, Supergirl, Toy Story 5. I just can't see it despite audience scores. Well, the thing with Mando, you raise a good point. When does Scary Movie 6 come out? Let me see. Because right now, all this weekend it's about Mando. Scary Movie 6 is 2 weeks from now, right? So it has a runway. Yeah, Obsession, yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. If you like the genre, you should see it. It's right up the alley. Low budget, horror, thriller. Yeah. Mando has 2 weeks to get his money in. I don't see Scary Movie 6 really deterring this film. Now you have Masters of the Universe coming out in 2 weeks as well too. I think I got the right numbers with this. So there is some room. So that's the only reason why I think it would get over 500 million, because first off, it has a runway, it has good forecast, good audience score. So that's why I think Mando is going to make enough money. But we'll see, right? We'll see. This is all projections, right? So we can't You got people out there, they're getting so caught up in what should make money, what shouldn't, and don't get one gotta get too personal with this, right? I'm not saying you are, but just in general, let's just see what it does, right? So much love, appreciate you, Super Sly. But everyone out there getting so worried about numbers, I need y'all to breathe.
Come on, breathe. Breathe, there you go. Breathe, dog.
Need them to breathe out there. Yeah, Motu. I'm day one. I've seen a lot of stuff. I was going to talk about Motu, but I don't have enough time today. I just have enough space on the schedule today to talk about Motu. I'm looking forward to it. Forward to that. So let's get into it. Where we at? So Obsession, good story. Good story with that film, right? And again, I'm all about the box office. I'm all about what's good for the box office. And low budget horror, that's great. Family friendly film, Mandalorian, Grogu, great. You even got Gen Z, no, not Gen Z, like millennials and older. You got Devil Wears Prada still in the theaters. Michael was an event film. So you got something for everyone. Mortal Kombat 2, you nerds and geeks out there, do not forget about Mortal Kombat 2, okay? Support that film. We got to get that as close to 200 million as possible so they can make part 3. They set it up perfectly. I want to see Mortal Kombat 3, y'all, okay? So that is what it is. So we got that out there. Let's shift to the DCU portion of the weekly show. Oh, my goodness. The gift that keeps on giving. Smash the like. Make sure you subscribe. Engage. Comment. Supergirl. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Do I have something to talk about with this? Again, I'm looking forward to this is my disclaimer. I'm looking for it. I'm going to be there to watch Supergirl. Okay, I may get an early screener for it, so I'm going to see this film. Craig Gillespie, the director, I think he's a good director. Millie Alcock, I think she's going to do great. I think they have things in this film that's good ingredients. The problem is with this film is after this relaunch of this reboot, DCU, Superman 2025, it was a soft, it was a soft return for Superman 2025 to the point where they're trying to say there's pressure on Supergirl. This is the worst thing that could have happened to Supergirl, is to put any pressure on this film. It doesn't need it, right? It's following up a film that, again, has soft returns internationally. That's unfortunate. And whatever hype, whatever feeling you thought you got from Superman 2025, even that soft return is not carrying over to Supergirl. So you're putting her in a situation where you're in a world that's not really successfully launched. And this is the follow-up. Again, I'm of the opinion that, again, I'm looking forward to the film. But I'm of the opinion that what they should have done was do Superman 2025, chill out 26. You could do Clayface, low budget, Lantern series, but hold off on another summer DC film until Man of Tomorrow, and then just see what you got. They're forcing Supergirl out there, and I think this is a mistake. And it's unfortunate. Obviously, we got another super chat here. We got Vega. Vega, I keep saying I got to hit you up because I got to get you on record for some stuff during the week. So I'll DM you about that. But Vega says going to see Mando tonight. Always great to see Syl Nation live. Restore the Snyderverse feels closer than ever. Michael, MK2 were a great watch. Yeah, definitely. I'm going to see both those films again this weekend or by Monday. I got to go see Mando and Obsession. So I'm going to see 4 films this weekend, man. I got the movie club. So, I got a couple tickets to use up. So I'm going to see all these films, man. Shout out to VEGA. As always, I'm going to hit you up because we got to figure out a day to get you on wax, man. For sure. And he's showing love to Syl Nation. So much appreciated. Yes. Supergirl, we in there, Mandy. We going to check this out. Now, yes, it's true. Amelia Alcock has some of the worst quotes. Like she was like, "Oh, she may not wear the suit the whole time. It's going to be a journey." We already saw you in the suit, bro. So, and bots that says they're Christians, I want to tick them off. It's like, like just use your words a little more carefully. I blame the DCPR. I blame them more than Millie Alcock. I think she's going to be great in this film. I still think, and she's going to get more work off of this. But just terrible quotes right there. This film does everything but promote the film. Yeah, that's not where you want to go with that Zegler thing. Now, it's funny, like, did Snow White fail because of Zegler or it just wasn't enough pop, right? Again, the kids, like, the kids actually like that Snow White film, but it just didn't pop. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. It seems to line up, right? Millie Alcock putting her foot in her mouth, and we'll talk about the tracking in just a moment on this film. So this was one of the latest teasers. They showed David Cornsweat, Superman again, right? We pretty much saw all his scenes. And actually, let's see. I think we got a little teaser here. Let's see. Let's throw this up here.
Formally introduced.
I cannot wait.
I know it's pretty colorful, but that's just so everyone knows we're good.
I hate that quote. Okay, I hate the quote. I hate they're making basically Cornsweat Superman's like Mr. Rogers. Like it just. I know it's colorful. This is a James Gunn note. We know this. This is a James Gunn note. James Gunn has ruined Craig Gillespie's film. When these first screenings came out, I heard from people. I hear from screenings all the time. People, OGs in the chat, y'all know I hear about screenings all the time. I mean, I was talking about, Aquaman screeners back in the day, Flash screeners, just etc. I heard this was an anti-hero film. That's what Craig Gillespie wanted to make, an anti-hero film. And then James Gunn came in post and was like, no, we got to color this up. It's colorful.
I know it's pretty colorful, but that's just so everyone knows we're good.
No. No. I don't want that. I want my anti-hero film. That's what I was told this film was going to. And now it's not that anymore. It went through probably several cuts. We know how this goes in Hollywood, right? They ruined it. See, that's what I'm saying. You got people saying, oh, you got boycott people. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to watch DC. I'm going to give my opinion on DC. I don't think, you got cornballs want to judge people who's just even checking out whatever DC's doing. That's kind of weird energy right there. But we ain't gonna talk about that. I don't want to get too violent with there's other Snyder fans who are cornballs, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. I was giving this film a chance. This is the worst way to sell this film. They're making this man Mr. Rogers. Like, it's like, what are we doing? I want. It's crazy because okay, you want to the tracking isn't well for this film, right? So I get from the marketing side, okay, let's throw more Superman in there, right? I get it, right? And that's where kind of Black Adam should have taken a page and should have thrown Henry Cavill, right? Should have thrown Henry Cavill into the third act of Black Adam. I think that film would have made enough money to get the sequel, to get Man of Steel 2. But, I understand. I still got hard feelings about that. But when you see Cavill, you know something's about to go down, right? When you see this dude, he's talking about what's colorful and like we're nice people. Punk rock. No, that didn't catch on, bro. That punk rock stuff didn't catch on. Right? You're trying to sell this film. You should have had Corn Sweat punching somebody. Did he punch anyone? He did punch someone in this film. He punched a dude's teeth out. That's probably the best moment in Superman 2025. I don't want to see Corn Sweat talking about being colorful.
I know it's pretty colorful, but that's just so everyone knows we're good.
No, I reject this. I reject this version of these. This is a James Gunn note. You have ruined Craig Gillespie's film. Okay, I would release the Gillespie cut because this isn't what he was trying to make from that first cut. Because they did reshoots. They added this on. Y'all ruined this man's film, and it wasn't going to be the greatest film ever. I knew that last year from what I was hearing with the shoots. I was like, they're going to make a solid or so type of film. This isn't it. CY says, Zach posted another BVS picture. So we definitely going to pick that up when we get to the restore section of this stream for sure. We got to talk about that. Zach is not playing around with y'all, okay? Zach saw this little colorful quote, and Zach was like, okay, let's take you back to adults. That's what Zach's about to do. And we're going to talk about that later. We're going to pull up that post later. I'm just saying, bro. Like, this is how we're selling this, bro. It's disappointing. It's disappointing. And I'm talking about just from a DC fan perspective. People think this is all about, because you like Zack Snyder. Yes, Zack is the greatest for DC. Nolan, right there as well, too. But this ain't it, bro. Do y'all hear this? We supposed to be hyped for this as DC after seeing BVS and the Snyder Cut, Man of Steel, even Black Adam, Matt Reeves' Batman. But we want this Mr. Rogers stuff.
I know it's pretty colorful, but that's just so everyone knows we're good.
No, y'all, man. I know, hey, there's people out there that they love this Corn Sweat stuff. I get it. I thought he did great as Clark. I think he's a really good Clark, actually. I think he's a good actor, too. David Corn Sweat, I think he's a good actor. It's just, this version, this James Gunn version, it's not hidden, bro. This ain't how you sell it. It just ain't, man. Let's catch it with the chat, man. Gosh, Garley, this is punk rock stuff, man. No. No. It's cringe, bro. We need the Gillespie cut. Because this is not the film. I guarantee this is not the film. Insane, man. So that's just one thing with that. That quote just upsetted me, right? But again, we're talking about sauceless. I mean, come on, Cavill showed up. Even if people out there that didn't like Black Adam, this was a great moment in theaters. I watched it in theaters several times. 2 of the times, people was clapping. Henry Cavill Superman. And we going from that to this. It's not it, y'all. This ain't it. I mean, hey, he's doing what he's told to do. So it's like, I can't even blame him too much. This is on James Gunn. You thought this is what the streets wanted. It's more colorful because we're good people. You don't got to tell. See, when you got to tell it, that means you're bad at storytelling. You're supposed to show and not tell. Okay, we're colorful because we're the good people. It's a terrible quote. Doesn't make me hype. You see in the new TV spot they show when Kara, right here, they show when her ship opens and Clark's there to greet her, right? She's supposed to be sent there to protect Clark, but she got lost in orbit or whatever. By the time she gets to Earth, Clark's already grown up and he meets her. He greets her and he shows her the ropes, right? So that's what this is. It's nothing epic. I mean, it's okay, Superman meets Kara for the first time. Okay. She dropped it too. Bro, this just ain't it. I know those people out there trying to, champion it and everything. And it's like, hey, enjoy what you want to enjoy, man. I'm saying as a DC fan, I've seen all these iterations, Burton, Nolan, Schumacher, Snyder, Matt Reeves. This is soft. Donner, that's the Donner DC. This is soft, man. This isn't hype. Punk rock is actually more savage. Punk rock is too much for him. Insane, man. And again, that's why I preface all this. I'm going to go see this film. I think it's going to have some good action shots. I think Craig Gillespie was trying to make his own version of his DC. And just unfortunately, Gunn got in the way. Because everything you're seeing in these trailers is all Gunn notes. Crypto peeing on the newspaper. Clark on the FaceTime. Hey, Kara. This stuff. We got to be colorful because we're good. Come on, man. This ain't what I'm trying to see, Superman. After I've seen Man of Steel, this ain't what I'm trying to see. It wasn't no hard push saying, oh, Superman shouldn't be like Henry Cavill. They didn't like the neck snap, but they lived with it. And you saw the Snyder cut. He's beating down Steppenwolf. Everyone loved the Snyder cut. See, people want to make revisionist history. They jump back to Man of Steel. Oh, he snapped the neck. That scared us. BVS was a little too scary. But then once you got to the Snyder cut, everyone came around. See, people wanted to be real selective with history. Yes, Man of Steel was divisive when it came out. BVS was divisive. Yes. But when the Snyder cut came out, everyone was on board. Even people that proclaimed they hated Cavill, Superman, Batfleck. You had to let him finish his story. And people were digging it. So this isn't like Superman Returns where you got Brandon Routh and you're like, oh man, this is really soft. We need to get more action. Enter Zack Snyder, where they tapped Nolan first. Nolan said, oh, my boy Zack Snyder can do this. And we got Man of Steel as kind of like an answer to, okay, you didn't like how Superman Returns was kind of soft. No one was trying to go back to that. He's softer than Brandon Routh. At least Brandon Routh took a bullet in the eye and he came back as Kingdom Come Superman on CW. I'd rather that than this film. Or as far as Corn Sweat, this version of Corn Sweat. I'd rather Kingdom Come Brandon Routh. I'm just saying, man. It's unfortunate. It's clear. All these shots in the trailer, he's ruined Craig Gillespie's film. And I was afraid of this a month ago. I was hearing test screenings. It's an anti-hero film. And I think he ruined it. I think James Gunn ruined it. Unreal. Gun suits are horrible. What is that space? I ain't gonna go too hard on her about that. Oh man. I have to pay more for a ticket for this pile of garbage than I did for PBS. Hey, like I said, I watch all DC. I'm gonna get my honest opinion on it. You know, that is what it is. But I think it's gonna be a decent film. That's the thing. It's just that you're gonna tell when it's not Craig Gillespie's vision. And that's what I was afraid of the whole time. James Hodgson on X Twitter said it from day one, Syl. James Gunn was never the right fit for DC. Yeah. Hey, like I said, I mean, I know there's a large section and probably a large section of Snyder fans that was like, we're not going to give James Gunn's DC a chance at all. And it's like, I always respect people's rights to be like, I'm boycotting, whatever, right? And you do got to allow other people to do what they want to do and judge for themselves. So I'm speaking more for the subsection of people that's saying, Zack Snyder rocks. We're going to, just like all the other iterations, Burton, you know, again, Schumacher, Nolan, Snyder, Matt Reeves, we're going to give any DC iteration a chance, just see what they got. Gunn is taking off that subsection of people that was giving his DC a chance. Like, they see it as sauceless. That's so I already knew the day one people that said, "Oh, I ain't giving Gunn a chance at all." Hey, y'all were right. You were right. The people that gave it a chance, now we're coming around saying, "Yeah, this ain't hitting. This ain't hitting, bro. You know, we're colorful because we're good." That's a terrible quote, bro. I don't want to see Superman saying that. We got Amari. I've been rewatching Superman and Lois recently. Tyler Hoechlin could pull off that goofy Superman without feeling forced. He says, I think he corrected it, lighthearted. Yeah, because Tyler Hoechlin, he's not goofy at all. He's kind of all shucks, but he's like Daddy Superman. And I thought that was a great version. Superman and Lois all clears this because you got some great moments in that show alone. Every season hit for Superman and Lois, and it's a shame Gunn ended that show. He was like, we can't have a TV show and I'm doing my Superman 2025. Unfortunately, that was a mistake. Because, and again, I get with this branding stuff, they're like, we don't want to oversaturate the character. I get it. You know, that's why they want Batman on TV. On the Gotham show, they didn't want to have Batman's suit show up at all until the finale. You want to oversaturate, you want to cheapen the character. I get it. But Superman and Lois was already going good, and Superman's been on TV back in the day, Adventures with Superman and Lois, and, you know, the Dean Cain version. So you could have still did the TV show, man, and just go ahead and do your movie. And if people rock with the movie, great. If they not, we got the TV show. But Gunn didn't want that competition, man. He didn't want that competition at all. And it just he kind of robbed us because they was going to do some great stuff in that TV show. Man. I mean, first off, they did the perfect Death of Superman story. We got to back up and give some flowers to the Superman and Lois team. That was a great iteration of the Death of Superman. Like, it wasn't just all about Doomsday. It was about, you know, Superman going to replace his heart or something like that. And he lost his powers and he aged out. You know, he passed away. That was an amazing story. And they were going to do more crazy stuff before we even got to that point on the show. So we were kind of robbed of some interesting stories from a creative team with Superman and Lois ending prematurely. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate with that. But that is what it is. I know I went on my rant. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Yeah, it all felt epic, man. Ralph got stabbed with a kryptonite blade and still tried getting up, giving Luthor and his goons the hands. This one couldn't handle the pressure. Like I said, I got more respect for Brandon Routh after the Kingdom Come on CW. I got much respect. Yeah, see, that's the thing. This is what I was saying Thursday. yes, you have DC Studios co-head Safran Gunn, but you have other execs under the DC brand, and I'm blaming them. They're the ones that blocked the air cut. I talked about this like a year ago. There's other execs within DC. Gunn and Safran, yes, handles the theatrical films, somewhat series. HBO kind of takes over the series. And there's other DC exec people that talks about the brand, merchandising, international push. So it's a committee. Again, they're the ones that block the air cut. And I'll put some blame on Gunn too. And so they don't want to oversaturate things. And I get that business-wise. But after that CW crossover with Kingdom Come Superman, Brandon Routh, at least a show or a one-shot film, easily. He was the best thing in that. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Let's catch up. I admitted it. Hey, like I said, I was of the crowd that was like, we know what Epic is with DC, right? I remember BVS in theaters, right? Seeing the warehouse scene open at night in theaters, right? So I know what Epic is. But I was like, let's just see what you got, Gunn. And just those that didn't give it a chance at all, they were right. They were right. We're colorful. Cornspite yelling at Lois. Are they going to heat vision her? Now, Superman and Lois is great. Return. I'm still not ready to say Superman as a film. I'm still not ready to say Superman Returns is even better than James Gunn's Superman. I'm not ready to say that. Kingdom Come Superman, yes, clears. That clears. Yeah, make Kingdom Come. So that's one thing, right? Just with this new look at Corn Sweat. Okay. We got some box office numbers for projections for Supergirl. All right. So we got this article here, comic book, what's this? comicbookmovie.com. Not lining up so well. Supergirl's U.S. box office debut may be as low as Marvel Studios' biggest flop, The Marvels. What a headline. My goodness. Y'all going for the throat with this. Now, we know The Marvels got around 200 million box office, and a light bulb went off for me a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh, because, again, I was told this past December, so 6 months ago, I was told Supergirl, the number for profit was 375. Now, you got other people saying 425. I don't care. I'm not into semantics. I was told 375. Just like I was told, and they could be right, because I was told James Gunn's Superman was 500, and the number actually ended up being 550. So maybe I have like a 50 million range, like, you know. I was told 375. And I was told the long time forecast was soft. So that's all been confirmed. I was just if people don't point out what I say, I got to point it out myself. That was confirmed that it's going to be a soft forecast. Now they're comparing this to the Marvels. I was like, yo, because 375 is Black Adam territory. If you're getting you're talking about less than 400 million. If you're getting less than 300 million, oh my goodness, heads are going to roll. Because if you got between 300, 375, they'll just be like, yeah, it was a flop, but yeah, it's within range. If they get over 400 million, you're not going to tell them to shut up. They're going to be doing victory laps if it gets over 400 million. If it gets less than 300 million, there's no way to save this PR image. And it may be on pace to do less than 300 million. And I wasn't expecting that. So what are we talking about here? Very early box office projections for DC Studios' Supergirl have just landed. And if the DCU movie opens on a lower end, then it could make as little as the Marvels did in 2023. Remember, that's when Marvel was in crisis mode. Guardians 3 kind of saved their image that year. So James Gunn, saved them. Their image at least, but they were flopping everything else. Supergirl swoops into theaters next month. So we're still a month away. This is still long-term projections. You get more accurate projections at least 2 weeks or 10 days before the film comes out. So this is going to adjust as we get closer in another 2 weeks here. All eyes are now on whether The Woman of Tomorrow can continue DC Studios' momentum after Superman grossed over $624 million worldwide. The number 619. Are you adding those millions? Like, what are we doing here? It's 619. Thanks to the DCEU, DC remains a tarnished brand. Wait, who wrote this article? Who wrote this article? Josh Wilden, we on your head, bro. Okay. Let's talk about this. He messed up saying that. In the chat, if there's any guzzlers in the chat, I want y'all to speak up right now. What tarnished the DC brand? I'm tired of people saying this tarnished the brand. What tarnished the DC brand? I want to hear, or if guzzlers don't speak up, people in the chat, what have you heard that they said that damaged the DC, tarnished the brand? I want to put an end to this right now. I want to put an end to this conversation right now. I'm so tired of this angle. Someone tell me in the chat, what have you heard that tarnished the DC brand? I would love to hear. I would love to hear. What we got? Yeah, he could be anti and have his preference of what he likes. That's all good, but he has to stand on this. What tarnished the DC? What have we heard that tarnished the DC brand? Let's see. Let me catch up with the chat here. Yeah, we on his head now because I'm not gonna let this slide anymore. When Superman 2025 made less than Man of Steel, we don't have to accept this. People saying this stuff. Hamada, Jeff Johns. All right, but specifically, okay, Justice, Birdsburg. Okay, I think we're on to something here, right? So if we're saying, I know that's what we're saying, but what are they saying? I'll just take his word, right? That he's saying basically BVS. That's what he's trying to say. BVS made over 870 in the box office, right? So let's see. Let me pull this up. BVS, 870 million. We know that. Studio Squad. So if BVS tanked DC, when you're saying something's tarnished, you're talking about like Transformers. I think The Last Night made like less than desirable, and then they went down and did the Bumblebee film, and that was like a low mark for Transformers, and they're trying to build it back up. So we saw like a brand tarnished before, Transformers. DC, BVS made $874 million. Did that kill the DC brand? Studio Squad came out months later, $750 million. That don't sound like a dead brand. That don't sound like a dead brand. So supposedly BVS tarnished the DC brand, but then they made $750 million after that. Then Wonder Woman comes out 2017, made $824 million. What tarnished the DC brand? Aquaman made $1.15 billion after BVS. So what tarnished the brand is when y'all tried to rush out Justice, and that still makes $660 million. What tarnished the brand? Y'all kept hiding from the Snyder Cut. That's what tarnished the brand. Because Aquaman made over $1 billion. And you're just like, we don't really want to do the Snyder version. And you come out with Birds of Prey, $200 million, flop. Wonder Woman 84, $166 million, flop. James Gunn's Suicide Squad, $160 million, flop. So you had to do a Batman film. Reeves Batman made $770 million. So what tarnished the brand is because y'all ran away from the Snyder Cut. Y'all were making money after BVS, Studio Squad, Wonder Woman, Aquaman. So no. They tarnished the brand because they delayed the Snyder Cut. They should have came up with the Snyder Cut 2018 in theaters. Even if you was like, oh, okay, we don't want to do Zack Snyder's version, but we probably should do it to make some money. Like after you flopped with Justice League, you should have put the Snyder Cut out. And then, truth be told, Jeff Johns was actually thinking about doing before they fired Jeff Johns, the person that ruined Zack Snyder's vision. His last act, according to what I heard, in 2018, Jeff Johns, he knew his job was on the line, and then he was trying to release a Snyder Cut, but they fired him before he could do it. So Jeff Johns trying to take credit from Zack Snyder. He messed up Zack Snyder's vision doing Justice, and then Wonder Woman comes out, crushes. Aquaman crushes. You should have put the Snyder Cut out right there. You tried to run away from it. Birds of Prey flopped. Wonder Woman 84 flopped. That's what tarnished the DC brand, not BVS. You can't make $1 billion after you're saying it's tarnished and they made $1 billion with Aquaman after that. That's just factually not true. I'm tired of that. I'm tired of that. People saying that. That's all they had to do. Release the Snyder Cut. That's what tarnished. Walter Hamada tarnished the DC brand. That's why he lost his job. So that's a joke. That triggered me. that triggered me a bit because I'm like, nah, bro. I'm gonna find him on Twitter. this guy. Anyway. He's saying DC remained tarnished. James Gunn and Peter Safran knew from the start that changing the perception would be a tough challenge. Again, don't put that on Zack Snyder. The perception, everyone loved the Snyder Cut. Henry Cavill Superman was in the Snyder Cut. Man of Steel 2 would have made $1 billion in theaters with Cavill. So it wasn't about changing, but that's what I was saying earlier. Changing the perception. That's like Superman Returns. It was a soft film. Okay, we got to punch this up some. Man of Steel comes out. After Man of Steel and BVS and Snyder Cut, you have to dumb down Superman after that. Because everyone loves the Snyder Cut. Unreal, man. Anyway. He's saying Supergirl is part of the Superman saga, right? Not a slate, not a DCU slate, with Millie Alcott reprising her Superman role in this solo outing. ahead of a supporting turn in next summer's Man of Tomorrow. So this is Superman Saga. This is your trilogy, James Gunn, whether you wanted it or not. Zack Snyder didn't ask for a trilogy. Y'all said Man of Steel, BVS, Snyder Cut, trilogy. That's what Ann Sarnoff said in 2021. Well, Gunn, we're making this your trilogy. Superman 2025, Supergirl, Man of Tomorrow, pack it up. All right? With a little over a month to go, it's hard to deny that Warner Bros. Has failed to build the same must-see event vibe it created with Superman last July. Supergirl also arrives at a bad time, landing in theaters a week after Toy Story 5, 5 days before Minions and Monsters, and 2 weeks before the live-action Moana remake. That's just saying DOA. You're using too many words to say DOA. So somehow he's still blaming Zack Snyder, though his sort of connected DCU films made bank after BVS, but okay. But then he truly says the truth out loud. They haven't built up enough hype for the Supergirl film. This wasn't the move. I understand if Superman 2025 made $1 billion, then yeah, you're swimming in money. You go ahead and throw out whatever you want. The returns for Superman 2025 are soft. This wasn't the follow-up. This wasn't the move. The move was, again, sit out this year theatrically, as far as the summer. Come on, Man, tomorrow, have Batman. Have Batman in that film. Because I don't even think Wonder Woman could save Man of Tomorrow. And when you talk about Man of Tomorrow, will it do repeat business? It may not even do repeat business. Because Gunn, again, you ticked off people who actually gave your DC a chance. You came in here saying this is a fractious fan base, and we ain't doing an air cut. Nah, get that out of here. But we know it's a fractious fan base. That's what you said day one, Gunn. His tweet's out there unless he deleted his tweet. But you came in here, you're supposed to respect the brand. And again, I'm only saying Batman, Raven. I'm talking about selling the film. Because I don't think they can rely on the viewership from 2025 Superman for Man of Tomorrow. Is everyone going to return and do repeat views for Man of Tomorrow? I'm not counting on that. If I'm marketing this film, if I'm trying to sell this, no, it's a soft return. And there's disinterest in Supergirl, indifference. So yes, you should have put Batman in Man of Tomorrow. I know he can't. He probably can't. That is what it is. Let's continue with the article. As it says here, again, they didn't build up enough. This is on Warner Brothers DC Studios, on DC overall. You didn't build up a must-see event for Supergirl. You didn't. Whatever vibe you had last year is because it was Superman. We were going to always check out Superman. Supergirl, not so much. You're not getting the same marketing tie-ins. Superman had a bunch of tie-ins. They received a lot of money from Dairy Queen, Milkbone, Keebler cookies, all kinds of stuff for Superman. Supergirl's not getting no marketing tie-ins like that. It's insane. This is on them. This is on them setting up this Superman saga with this film. And then again, on top of that, it comes out a week after Toy Story 5. Toy Story 5, from what I'm hearing about that film, is bringing everybody to the yard. Like, you got the kids. It's going to get millennials and olders like me because of the premise of the story. Toys versus technology, like tablets and stuff. That's going to be an amazing story. I can't wait to see Toy Story 5. And it had great footage at a CinemaCon last month. Toy Story 5 is going to crush it. First weekend, probably 200 million. Second weekend may challenge 100 million. Supergirl will be happy to get 50 million, maybe 40. So Supergirl's not going to win any weekend because after Supergirl comes out, It comes out a week before July 4th holiday. Minions drops next Wednesday after Supergirl comes out. So right before July 4th, Minions drops. That's going to take over the world. You still got Toy Story 5 in theaters. Supergirl's getting banged up, right? And then Moana live action comes out a week after that. It's over. I'm saying less than 300 million. And it's a shame. And the Blizzard was good. As I said, Superman was going to have that hype, just that curiosity, because it's Superman. So that was kind of built in, and just Supergirl doesn't have that same hype. You ready for Martian Manhunter eat cookies? Why not, right? Those chocos, whatever they call it, chocos. Why not? We're gonna talk about Gunn's choices in a minute here. Well, why not? According to Box Office Theory, they do long-term projections, and they have a very high end all the time. It normally never hits the high end when Box Office Theory comes out. It says current projections suggest Supergirl will open between 47 million and 65 million. It's talking about domestically. If it comes on a lower end, then that's the same as the Marvels in 2023. Despite positive reviews, it finishes run at 206.1 million. On the higher end, it's closer to Captain America First Avengers and Thor, which grossed 370 and 449 million respectively. Do we have to add inflation to that? Because that wouldn't be fair, right? Supergirl could be a modest success. Nah, this is a glazer. I'm finding this guy. I'm hunting this guy down. It's far too soon to say, though. Will we have more specific tracking soon? In 2 weeks, dummy. As tickets are expected to go on sale next week. Are y'all gonna? Who's gonna buy the pre-sales for Supergirl? I'm gonna wait till I ain't got no reason to buy pre-sales for this. I'm gonna watch it, but the hype's not there. Again, at least with Superman, you had that event level, and then it turned out being an event film, but you had that buzz to it. Not here with Supergirl. Those are Black Adam numbers. What will be the spin if they hit that? Yeah. Insane. Let's continue. Female-led superhero movies have often struggled at the box office. Now, Wonder Woman didn't. Don't turn this into some gender divide. See, I hate when they do that. Captain Marvel made over $1 billion. Wonder Woman 2017 made over 800 million. Don't use this. See, I hate when they try to make this like, oh, female-led films. Even Black Widow did decent. What was Black Widow's box office? That got nearly 400 million. This will be happy to get 379 like Black Widow. So I don't want to hear, and that was day and date release. That was great numbers. See, and that's the thing. This is what kills that whole thing. Oh, pandemic films. A couple pandemic films made some money, right? We mentioned Black Widow. We mentioned Christopher Nolan. Tenet. Tenet opened up right when theaters closed. Christopher Nolan's Tenet came out, made 360 million. And then people try to say, James Gunn's Suicide Squad, 160 million, but it was pandemic. No. Fast and Furious. What was that, 7? What was that? Was that Fast 7? Which one came out in pandemic? No, it had to be 8. 8 or 9. It got to be 8. It wasn't 8. So it was 9? Maybe it was 9. Fast and Furious came out. There we go. Yeah, Fast 9 made $700 million. So this pandemic arguments is baseless. James Gunn Suicide Squad flopped $160 million. Black Widow got 370. Tenet got 360. That was a great number for Black Widow. And it was on streaming the same day. That's why Scarlett Johansson sued Disney. Because she was like, man, y'all messing up my back end deal. And she got paid out. And she'll never speak about it. She got an NDA. She'll never speak about it. They broke her off some money. So this pandemic argument does not hold at all. Yeah, I hate this gender stuff. I hate the pandemic argument as well. Anyway, early buzz surrounding the DCU title has been mixed at best, with trailers drawing a largely negative response due to similarities to the Guardians of the Galaxy and a washed out color palette that doesn't quite do the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book justice. I don't think the film looks bad. And again, that's just according to people that I talked to that saw the screener and they saw the scenes at CinemaCon. And they're like, the film doesn't look bad. I don't think it looks bad. I just think it's just indifference. Yeah, Wonder Woman made bank. This whole female-led stuff, people are hard on female-led. No, bullcrap. If Black Widow could pull 370 in a pandemic and it was streaming the same day, people could have stayed home and watched Black Widow on Disney Plus, and it still made bank, relatively, right? Because you had half the theaters, you had half capacity at the half theaters, and it still made money, right? So no, save that. Save that female-led argument. If it's good, the people will come. It says Millie Alcox have also upset fans. This is what I want to say. I don't really buy into that hurting the box office. I'm going to kind of briefly touch on this. Millie Alcox, she's had terrible quotes. Yes. I'm just gonna be honest though, like, because Millie Alcock, I mean, again, she's had like some tone deaf comments. Talking about, wait till you see my suit, and we already saw her suit, right? So that was weird. She said something about the bots they say they're Christians with 4 kids, and people kind of took that for whatever. Millie Alcock, she needs help with the public. This is the publicist's fault with that. If anyone heard any of her comments and said, "Oh, I'm not going to watch her film now," I don't buy that. I don't buy that. If you were already upset, you already was not going to watch the film. Millie Alcock didn't convince you not to watch the film. So let's stop. I'm calling cap on that. Okay, people, and their feelings a little bit too much out there. This just isn't crossing over to the general audience. Millie Alcock's not turning people away from the film. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is. That's just my take on that. I see people leaning into that a little bit too hard. Oh, she's going to kill the box office because she made a dumb comment. That doesn't kill you. If you know about her comments, because you already didn't want to see the film. So come on now. With that being said, it's not tracking too well. And it says Jason Momoa's DCU debut as Lobo isn't proving to be the home run some expected. And that's what I'm surprised with right there. That's my real surprise. I didn't think this film would make as much as Superman, any Superman film. I thought it would be a softer box office, but I thought it would be a good action anti-hero film. Jason Momoa could be used to push the film. But it just maybe, just the amount that Lobo's in the film, it really is a supporting role, and you don't want to show all his scenes in the trailer. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't really pushing the film like they probably thought it would. And it's what I'm hearing is really like a generic version of Lobo. Momoa's broing it up. I think he's gonna do okay in the film, but it's not the general audience don't know Lobo. Right? The general audience has no idea who this is. So we're like, okay. So what you should have done if I'm marketing this film, okay, you want to make a Supergirl film, make it Supergirl and Lobo. And actually push this more, put more Momoa in it, sell it more with Momoa. But it's more of a supporting role, and it's kind of a generic version. From what I heard, it's like a Mr. Terrific and Superman. That's how Lobo's going to be. Meaning, he'll have a good entry, but it's like they're supposed to make a Mr. Terrific show after that. They said, "No, we're going to make a Jimmy Olsen show." Come on, man. like what are we doing out here, man? With DC. See, I care about the brand more than anything. And let's get some more likes in the chat. Let's get some more likes. We need some more likes in the chat. Whatever you're doing right now, stop and give some likes, comment. Make sure you subscribe. We need more likes in the chat instantly. This is how the videos are supported on YouTube. I appreciate the super chats, obviously. That's much appreciated. But smashing a like, make sure you subscribe, engaging. That's what helps these videos, especially when we're live. And the replay crew definitely come through as well. But live crew, we need some more likes on this video. So stop what you're doing. I'm about to ruin. No, I'm just playing. But the Jason Momoa angle is the surprise for me. That is not really enough. Again, you're talking about probably like 15 minutes worth. He has, action scenes. He has one scene where they set him up and then there's action scenes. But you walk away saying, okay, he was there. They can't tell it's Jason. Yeah, this isn't Gillespie's film. It isn't. Real quick, we got yet another watching Mandalorian this weekend, by the way. I think it's the best from Star Wars, Disney Star Wars alongside Andor. Rogue One is pretty. Rogue One is up there. See, I don't want to start too many arguments out here, but if we're talking about films, Andor is their best show. Well, though Mandalorian season 1 and 2 is their best, and Andor's right there. Season 3 Mandalorian, no. As far as films, this may upset some people. Now, Revenge of the Sith is my favorite Star Wars film. Rogue One is number 2 for me. Again, I'm just saying. This may upset some people. I do like Empire Strikes Back. That may be number 3 for me. But Rogue One is up there for me. I just want to throw that out there. Just want to throw some fodder out there. ScarJo's Jurassic World made a lot more than Superman. Find it kind of funny, but perhaps she was just more popular than David. An Avengers star versus a rookie. Well, it's the brand. The international audience bought into Jurassic World. Right? And they did a smart job not spending so much on that film as well. But the international audience loves Jurassic World. The international audience did not pick up Superman. Right? So that's why it made much more money. And they're making a trilogy with ScarJo. They're going to print money. I used to be joking, but this feels like a passion project for Gunn. Not building a universe. Feels like a troll job. Oh, I mean, again, it's Craig Gillespie's film, but those Gunn notes messed him up. As the girlfriend walks in the other room after hearing this stream, she says, yeah, I want to watch anything else in theaters but Supergirl. So who's the audience? Who's the target audience? Even women are like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna watch Obsession again. Toy Story 5 is gonna hit. Like I'm ready to watch Toy Story 5 multiple times. Just the premise of that story and what I'm hearing from the footage. I'm looking forward to that film. Supergirl is not on people's radar like that, man. It's a shame. As us DC fans, I'm speaking just DC fans, growing up DC fans. Again, I believe we're going to check it out. But it's just the hype's not there. It was definitely more hype for Superman. Definitely. Yeah, Rogue One was, man, that Vader hallway scene. Come on, man. Overall, that film was solid. You put that as the best. I still say Revenge of the Sith, but that's debatable, right? Evil Dead, Burn, and Odyssey. Yeah, Odyssey's going to make a killing. I don't care what y'all think about race swaps about that film. Everyone's going to see Odyssey. Y'all got to stop playing. There's internet talk and then there's real life. All of y'all going to see the Odyssey. Stop fronting. Oh, man. Yeah, Toy Story's going to do its thing. Okay, let's get through this article. Let's get this article out the way here. It's really nothing else to say about this article. This article was trying to glaze it, but it had to tell the truth. So that is what it is. It's on pace to open up as low as the Marvels, which is around 40 million. Black Adam is the high end. This was crazy right now. Black Adam is the high end now, which was over 60 million. And that still finished under 400 million. So I'm ready to say, I got you, Shin. As far as a Rogue One, yeah, I got you. I'm ready to say the number is 375. That's what I've been saying. Now, could it be 375 to 425? Maybe I have like a 50 million range every time I give these numbers, because that's just what I'm told. But I think this film's going to end up under 300 million. I'm ready to concede that. I think that's what it's going to be, under 300 million. And I think heads are going to roll. I don't know, Gunn's contract's already going to end, but I just think this is not going to be a good look for DC. If this film doesn't hit the break even, again, I heard the break even is 375. We could say 425 just for that range. It's not getting that. This film's not getting that. If you're opening up less than Black Adam, and that was the comp I was given 6 months ago, if you're falling short of that, you're falling short of Flash at this point. Where I think the Flash made like 270. You're falling short of that now. It's tough, man. Yeah, people fronting about Odyssey. I don't believe you. You need more people. Everybody's going to see Odyssey. Be mad about a book you never read before. I don't care. I don't. And only because I'm still kind of fuzzy with the Odyssey story. I haven't read it since I was in school. That's been a while. And it's been like over 20 years since so I don't remember the Odyssey story or the Iliad. I don't think I finished the Iliad in school. So you can do whatever you want with those films. For me, it ain't that big of a deal to me. People are fronting. Everybody, they pre-sold the IMAX screens for Odyssey. I missed out because I was trying to buy a ticket for I was going to go to Indianapolis to watch it here from Louisville. Indy's, less than 90 minutes away from me. So I was like, well, actually it's like about an hour away. But I was going to do that for Odyssey, but the tickets sold out instantly. I'll probably catch the next batch. Y'all know y'all going to see the Odyssey. Y'all don't front with me. Y'all can front on the internet all y'all want. Don't come to Silv Nation and front. Y'all seeing the Odyssey. Stop fronting. I'm not buying it. Oh man. That's what's up. That's what I wish I would have got one. Like I said, Indy's the closest one for me, Indianapolis. But I missed out. I missed out on the tickets. It sold out so fast. Now I feel you with the Zendaya, but then it's like, okay, I think Nolan knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? That's what I kind of lean on from this film. And as I said last week, if y'all caught the stream last week when I didn't have a voice, I was trying to explain to Jules that Gunn. Nolan, it's not like he bats 1,000. He doesn't bat 1,000. Like, I'm not big on Interstellar, Dunkirk, Dark Knight Rises. Those are three films that they're okay. They're still very watchable. But I'm like, okay, Gunn could kind of phone it in sometimes, to me personally. But you can't sleep on this man that made Memento, Batman Begins, Dark Knight, Inception. This is the same man doing it. Oppenheimer. So no, miss me with this. Oh, is Nolan really that good? No. Y'all can't have no revisionist history. This man has made bangers, every couple years. Inception is probably my favorite film he's made, and it's probably not his best film. But Memento, oh my goodness, just as a film fan, watching Memento, and he's telling the story backwards. And then, if you know, Nas came out with Stillmatic album and made a song called Rewind, telling the story backwards because he was inspired by Christopher Nolan. Memento, man, y'all better miss me with this. All of a sudden, this Nolan hate because everything's not all white. Y'all better miss me with this. Y'all got Oppenheimer. That was your all white film, Oppenheimer. All right, y'all got awards and everything. That's this whole thing. Oh, you gotta have diversity to get awards. Oppenheimer was all white, made all that money. Miss me with this. Okay? You didn't read the book. Get out of here. I'm just saying, I was trying to say that last week, but I couldn't talk. Oh man. Dark Knight is one of the best edited films I ever saw. Dark Knight, every scene in Dark Knight meant something. That was amazing to me. Just seeing, I saw it on IMAX opening weekend. Yeah, read a book. No, Dark Knight, every scene, and he sort of did that with Tenet, but not enough of y'all watch Tenet in the theaters. Tenet's solid to me. I like that better than like Dunkirk. Interstellar's good, but I like Tenet better. That was a tightly edited film as well too. Just next time you watch Dark Knight, every scene matters. Sometimes people have these scenes that go on too long or things like, or it's a throwaway scene. Nolan, man, y'all got respect. This man, Ryan Coogler, hit up Nolan while making Sinners. Like, come on, y'all. I'm not taking no Nolan slander. Y'all better go on somewhere. Read a book. I'm just saying, bro. They got Nolan messed up. I saw somebody, they tweeted out, they was like, well, maybe Nolan isn't as great as we thought. Bro, I just read you this man's list. Go watch any of those films I just mentioned. Memento, Dark Knight, Batman Begins, Inception, Oppenheimer. Stop playing with me, okay? I'm not taking it. Not taking it, bro. And you going to see this film anyway. People comparing it to Troy, and Troy wasn't accurate. I'm off this, man. I'm off this. So, again, Supergirl not tracking well. Ho-hum. It is what it is. Yeah, it's a lot of exaggerated hate, man. I wasn't trying to go on too long about that, but I can't wait till this film comes out. Because, again, I ain't going to pretend I know the story as much. It's been a minute since I see. I think I read the book. It was over 20 years ago. So I don't even know the story, really. And I don't care. It's Christopher Nolan. Okay? I don't care, bro. Yeah, you still seeing the film. You still seeing the film. But so let's get into it. What's up, Bad Beast in the chat? Smash that like. Make sure you still subscribe. On Twitter, engage, share the video. Much appreciated. It's all about y'all support, especially when we live. Smash that like. Oh, Prestige. Oh my. Prestige is one of the greatest films ever made. With Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale? Come on now. I'm just saying, before you start questioning Christopher Nolan's skills out here, I'm questioning people's opinions out here. Again, if you question Christopher Nolan at all, go watch Memento right now. Inception, Prestige. Come on now. Man, stop playing with me. Stop playing with Nolan's name. Y'all playing too much out here. I don't know about Nolan, bro. You see this man's catalog, people will be happy to have one of the films that he made. People are happy to have one Memento, one Prestige, one Dark Knight, one Batman Begins, Oppenheimer, Inception. Stop playing. I'm going to move on because I got to get to this topic here. And it's just something that irked me. Oh, man. So, lanterns. So, lanterns. This has been quite the journey for this film, man. Lanterns, we're going to talk about the trailer in just a moment. There's actually stuff that's okay. Oh, God, lanterns. And we're going to talk about the trailer in just a moment. I just want to always reiterate my main issue and a lot of people's main issue with lanterns is it doesn't feel like Green Lanterns, right? It doesn't feel like the magic of lanterns. That's the problem with the show, right? Like we saw that suit in the closet and everyone had those excuses. Oh, it's just, it's a story to the suit. Someone said, it doesn't have to look good. You remember this during the Superman rollout? This quote, the suit looks bad. They're supposed to look bad. Says no one ever. But this is the energy of you guzzlers out there. People got a problem with lanterns because the magic isn't there. I let it slide with Mr. Terrific because that's literally how his suit looks in the comics. But you're like, oh, let's make this a Justice Gang, Jacket Gang, Biker Gang. Bro, you wasted an opportunity for Hawk Girl to cook in theaters, and you dumbed down a lantern, Guy Gardner, right? So this whole, you guzzers out there, oh, it's supposed to look bad. Nah, it ain't supposed to look bad. And it just looks bad. It's underwhelming, these suits, right? So that's why, people who's having an issue with this suit, and again, we'll get to the trailer in a moment, but no, this isn't it, bro. This ain't what I'm signing up for as a lifelong DC fans. Now, to be fair, I didn't read a lot of Lanterns comics growing up. I got into it after Hal Jordan snapped. And he had that famous cover where he had all the rings on his finger, became Parallax, probably Jeff Johns' greatest comic run that he did. That's when I got into Lanterns. So this was really after Hal Jordan's end, in a sense. He came back, but it was going into the Jon Stewart, and then you had the Justice League animated. Jon Stewart was my Lantern growing up, right? But just that short history for me, Lanterns has always been magical. It's cosmic. Again, I get the Ryan Reynolds. You don't want to do the Ryan Reynolds CGI suit. I get it. You want to save money. But my argument is always you could have did what the CW did. You could have at least did that on Stargirl, Alan Scott's daughter. She cooked. It was like 2 episodes. She cooked on that show. But you're on HBO, you doing this? And you're joking like, oh, well, the green's coming. No, you should have led with the green. You're not for the comic lore fans. You're not for that. And don't let me get started on Zack Snyder with a box of scraps. Don't get me started with this. Brown as day. This is a joke. Yeah, Ryan suit. And that film is not a good film. Green Lantern is not a good film. But at least it tried to do the lore for the first half hour. Then it just kind of went to crap after that. I could put on Green Lantern, the extended cut. I could watch a good 30, 40 minutes of it. Then I'll turn it off. They respected the brand, at least. They at least tried to. The story was crap. Insane. So that's been the problem. I don't think it sits well when they're like, oh, okay, it's getting greener. You ticked off the great writer Grant Morrison, went in on Damon Lindelof. Now you're hearing Lindelof and Tom King are backing away from the project. Because they know, supposedly if it has a season 2 anthology series or whatever, which I actually hope they do, just make it its own thing. Tom King and Damon Lindelof are backing off of the project. Thankfully. I hope they don't even promote this. Just go away. You ruined this. And you're gaslighting lifelong DC fans. And my conclusion is either you hid the green on purpose, which is stupid, right? You added it in post, which is stupid because why would you wait to do that, right? Or 3, it really just ain't that much green. Either way, this is all over a failure. So that's why people are upset. And again, this whole thing, the suits are supposed to look bad. Guzzlers, okay? So James Gunn posts this today. And this upsetted me more. I'll tell you why. James Gunn's posting this as the anniversary of Sinestro. Says Sinestro knows how to push the limits until there's no turning back. And that's probably his most terrifying trait. I don't know if that's really his terrifying trait, but okay. And that's probably his most. He first came into the scene in Green Lantern #7, written by John Broome, pencils by Gil Kane, inks by Joe Gila. And he posts this picture of Sinestro. A lot of people know Sinestro as the Yellow Lantern guy. Of course, he started off as a Green Lantern. That's one thing I thought they did good in the first film. They showed his turn to be the bad guy, right? So I thought they did a good job with that, actually. But the film is bad. But Gunn puts this up. As I said, James Gunn honors Sinestro with an image that would definitely not be recreated in his DCU. Ain't no way. Ain't no way we're gonna see Sinestro like this. If you rolling out the great Hal Jordan wearing some Kryptonian armor, you think we trust you to do Sinestro? Sinestro may not have a suit at all in this show. Sinestro gonna be in he gonna be like Mephisto and Ironheart, just sitting in a lounge having a drink. That's what Sinestro likely will be. Is he gonna power up? The tone of the show doesn't look like Sinestro is gonna power up at all. But we'll see. We'll see. We're not gonna get this. We don't get no suit even close to this. It's a travesty making a Lanterns IP project, and we're getting none of the magic of the IP. That's why people are upset. Now, some people just hate Gunn, and I get that. I'm coming from the angle, I keep saying this, I'm from people that wanted to give this a chance. This isn't grabbing real Lanterns fans. You got your guzzlers, but they didn't show up enough for your Superman film. They're not going to show up for your Supergirl. So you can't count on your guzzlers. This, I felt like this suit was disrespectful to showing this post, because we're not getting the show that we're getting. It's not going to have Sinestro like this. He's not even going to be purple. Where's the colorist people out there? Sinestro better be purple, right? I'm just saying, bro. So that was upsetting enough. With that being said, was there things in the trailer that I liked? Well, let's pull it up here. Let's pull it up here. And let's see. I think we're going to trick this out here. Let's see. Lanterns trailer. There we go. All right.
This ring, it's the greatest weapon in the universe.
That was a good shot right there, right? I think they showed their best two shots in this trailer. They blew their load in this trailer. And you got weirdos saying, oh, they should have kept it as a surprise. It's Lanterns, bro. I don't want to watch a Superman trailer and not see Superman. You have a Superman trailer and you just see Clark Kent. I think Superman's in this. It's called Superman. Why aren't they showing Superman? Why aren't you showing green for the Lanterns? It's supposed to be a surprise. You're stupid. Okay? Whoever says that, you're stupid. We want the magic of the Lanterns up front and personal. So that was a good shot. You should have led with this in the first look. If you wasn't ready for your visuals, you shouldn't have came out with that first trailer at all of two dusty dudes walking down the street.
It's the greatest weapon in the universe.
It's a good shot. Too bad it's his best shot. Too bad they aced out. Superman movie trailer, no suit, just Clark, no powers. Exactly. Imagine a Superman trailer and just Clark yelling at Lois, like the entire trailer. It's like, man, like, are we going to see Superman? Oh, it's a surprise. Like, you got to be showing everything up front. Yeah, I want to see Superman flying. I want to see him doing something. No, you got to show that up front. That's how these idiots sound out there. We're not supposed to see green. We ain't supposed to see no constructs. Leave it to imagination. Imagine the ratings. I'm going to imagine the low ratings this show is going to get. This is Lanterns. If you want to make a serious HBO show, You could have picked any like D-list character and rocked out. People always say the question. Should have made a question show. You'll make like a mystery, DC mystery. I would, in this vein, I would have checked it out. It probably wouldn't have did well, but you're not bastardizing the Lantern's IP. I'm good with how it just, I hate they're going to pretty much kill him. It's like why? Only one could wear the ring. Why are you marketing? It's a show called Lanterns, plural, and you're saying only one. You should have called it a lantern, no plural. Like what are we doing with the marketing? Just two men, no powers. You want me to get hype? I want to see green and Green Lantern property. Exactly. Space cops. And it don't got to be all cosmic. It could be Earth-based, but you got to show some range here. But we getting the Jimmy Olsen show. It's not going to be as serious as this. This is crazy, bro. Okay, let's get it. This was a good shot. So like when this trailer first started, the first 5 seconds, I'm like, oh, we got an improvement.
When and if to use it, that's the whole ball game, Junior.
I hated that line. Like I'm serious when I tell you, 5 seconds, less than 10 seconds. I was like, hey, this may be a good trailer. And that's when I was out. That's when I was out. I was like, so we're gonna have a show. We know y'all cutting budget. We get that. Okay. We definitely get that because of this suit, right? So we understand you're cutting budget. But now, and also only one could wear it. Oh, okay. The premise of you gotta choose when you want to use it. No. It's about willpower. What you will to be done at any time. It's not about, oh, let me do this without using my ring. I'm going to turn this show off. If there's a scene in the show where he's like, I got the ring, but let me figure it out without using my ring, I'm turning the show off. Y'all let me know how it ends up. If I get any moment that Jon Stewart says, let me try this just as a human. No, you got a ring? You have a lantern? So this line, I'm telling y'all in real time, this line, eating good, this line ticked me off for the entire trailer. It was in the back of my mind, the entire trailer. I was like, oh my goodness. They're building in a reason for him not to use constructs. This is insane in a bad way. That's the second best shot. They showed their best two shots, probably the entire show. The dome and him covering up in the orb there. No suit. Okay. I was done when he said, oh, you gotta know when not to use it. I was done. Why are they jobbing Hal Jordan so hard? That's another thing. It's like, again, Jon Stewart was my Lantern growing up with the animated series. But, the first Lantern comic I got was, Hal Jordan, and he just happened to be going crazy in that comic. But still, it was a respect. Hal Jordan was the original, in a sense. That's insane. That's insane. Why make like Hal Jordan like, oh, you this old drunk looking punk? Why? Like in the comics, there were moments where it would be like a backup. The Guardians, the Lantern's Guardians, they would pick a backup for Hal Jordan. At first, it was Guy Gardner, then he got incapacitated. Then they picked Jon Stewart again, just as a backup for Hal Jordan. And then eventually, they all served together on the core. They could have just did a story like that. Like you start off with Hal Jordan, he gets sidelined, and then you bring in Jon Stewart. And you could have sidelined Hal Jordan very early. And then just have Jon Stewart come in and, just do your story with that. They're making this whole, I got to train you, only one ring. And it's just, this isn't from the comics. This premise is not from the comics at all. Only one could wear the ring.
I've been doing this since you were a baby. And the only way you're gonna get this ring is over my dead fucking body.
So Hal Jordan's gonna die, right? Because we know Jon Stewart is in Man of Tomorrow, as sauceless as that's gonna be. So he just told you the end right there. Because only one could wear, and then he Mary Poppins. What are we doing? What are we doing, bro? Only one could wear the ring. So Hal Jordan's dead. He's dead. I'm expecting it. It's gonna be very melodramatic. He's just gonna die. What is this, bro? No aura. At least give me a little aura. Or if that's too expensive for you, CW, give me a little aura. My goodness.
I think you like him to us.
That would be great. My problem, like, I always was like, hey, let me hope for the best for this stuff. I'm assuming the worst now. I'm assuming they're just going to kill him. This is too cool of an idea to have him be parallax. That's too good of an idea. Nah. Just kill him. Oh, yeah. Thanks for telling me. Yeah. Thanks, Salty. They still going to hit me because I'm crapping on it. Unreal. Mary Poppins starting to set up this whole, was it Are You Afraid? What did it say? Don't be afraid or something like that. I don't mind that. I don't mind that little mantra because, again, it's about willpower. Don't give in to fear, right? So not bad. The first half, I was upset of this trailer because of the, you gotta know when not to use your ring. I don't want to see Jon Stewart do nothing without the ring, bro. So anyway, Are You Afraid? Not a bad tagline, actually, right there. Because again, that's part of the lore. Don't give in to fear, right? This is a crappy version.
You afraid?
So this suit, all right. The Lanterns Who Walks. We got a new. Got the Batman Who Walks, not a Lantern Who Walks. Amazing. That's what we dealing with, y'all. He hated a lot. Right. It's that tweet or that it was on Facebook. He hated Damon Lindelof, but he hired him. Oh my God. You can't make this up. Ugh.
You afraid?
Supposedly that's Sinestro right there.
You afraid?
That guy right there. Supposed to be Sinestro, I think. Are You Afraid? I don't mind it because then this trailer becomes something else. When they start doing this, Are You Afraid? Who's afraid? Let me know in the chat. Are you afraid? In the chat. Are you afraid? It was one post last week that upset me more than anything. I think this is Jon Stewart's father. I think. I didn't look up the cast. I didn't want to even bother going that deep about it. He looks like Jon Stewart more than Aaron Pierre. Now, I'm a fan of Aaron Pierre, but let's be real. Are you afraid? The chat's afraid. But they could have made this man Jon Stewart. If we want to keep it comic accurate, I believe Jon Stewart's a Black American. He has the little buzz cut or whatever, the flat top cut in some iterations. I was like, he should have been Jon Stewart. They shouldn't even show Guy Gardner. Are you afraid? Yeah, exactly. Wayne T. Carr perfectly fits the role. Perfect. Jon Stewart. But I don't see the outcry like Odyssey. I'm just playing. That's gonna be an ongoing joke. But where was the outrage? We can't boycott lanterns. Y'all trying to boycott the Odyssey? I want a natural Black American to play Jon Stewart. Do that cause an uproar? But I'm just saying. Then you got Guy Gardner. My goodness. They have to show this dude. You know what I mean? Like, what did this do? What did this do for anything? Guy Gardner, I guess, was he behind bars or who cares? Even that lady, she's like, why is this dude here?
Are you afraid?
She's like, what? Why is Guy Gardner here? That's the expression I'm getting. Like, why? She seems disgusted.
Are you afraid?
Are you afraid? If only one could use a ring, how are there multiple lanterns? I'm at the point where I think it's just gonna be one ring. Like maybe even Sinestro may not even have a ring. Are you afraid? The Czech guy's afraid.
Are you afraid?
So we're gonna see Jon Stewart get whooped up because you got to choose when to use the ring, right? Like, can't use the ring too much. That budget. So cool action shot, right? No, I want some aura. No, I don't want to just see Jon Stewart just randomly running down the street, jumping over a car with no aura. All you had to do is add some green right there. That would have been a cool shot. But no, it's just, I can't use the ring more part than once per episode. Why are we dissing Hal Jordan? Show him your fear. Oh, man. What we say here? I just saw someone else comment. Yeah. Watch Hal die giving Johnny his ring. I'm going on record right now. Because again, as DC, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to at least start off the show. If at any moment in the show, they make a point to be like, I have the ring, but I'm going to figure out a way through this without using it, I'm turning the show off. I'm turning the show off. Y'all let me know how it ends. If I get any moment, if he's running down the street and he has a ring, he has the ring, and he's not using it, I'm ring on his finger, I'm turning it off. I'm like, nope. Don't play with me. Don't just stop playing with me. He looks afraid while he's running. You're actually right about that. He's like running and he's afraid. That's fear. Like, why? He can't have the ring. The whole point, you can't be afraid. Oh my goodness, bro. Where's the ring? Since you've seen the early cut of this, why is he running with the ring? That don't make sense, do it? Yeah, we got the ghost monsters in the chat. So he's running down the street. This makes the show dumber. Your version of it. This is dumb now. Of course he's wearing the ring. Out of here. Oh my goodness.
Fearless, and I'll do this better than he's ever done it before.
Then go and get it, Jon Stewart.
Go kill Kyle Jordan. So, let's move the That's out the way. So yeah, that's the trailer. That kind of sums it up. And it's sad, like people gotta come up with excuses for the show. This stuff doesn't hold up. The people try to say in Superman 2025, he's gonna have a new suit at the end. He's not afraid anymore. All these excuses. It's not a good suit. Superman suit. It's not a good suit. That just is what it is. Or he's going to get another suit because it's going to get battle damage, and then no, just his mom cleans the suit. Like, we got to stop giving this stuff excuses. Again, y'all tried to say the suit's supposed to look bad. Come on now. You got to start just treating stuff as is. This is what's going on. This show is trying to avoid using green as much as possible because the first look was trying to not show any green. So that's what's going on. I don't have those high hopes. I think Hal Jordan is going to fade away from existence. That's what's going to happen with that. Or just that one ring. It's just Hal and John can't both wear a ring. I don't know why, Carlos, okay? This is their tagline. I don't ask some of the guzzlers. They have excuses for everything. Only one of those two. When in the comics, they're lanterns together. But of course, they're gonna do something cool now. No. That is this generated in this world? They had it hanging up in the closet. This ain't generated. This some battle armor, some Kryptonian steel. Yeah, Carlos, they didn't think that far ahead, man. Like you're thinking like they know what they're doing. Like, or Carlos, you're thinking like they know what they're doing. Like you're trying to make this make sense. So stop trying to make this. Only one between John and Hal can wear the ring. We're robbed of moments where Hal and John could be battling cosmic people together. Are you afraid though? That's what. Oh boy. So that's just where I'm at with this show. I thought like this post by Gunn, I thought was tone deaf. Because like your show's not gonna look nothing like this. And you're not afraid anymore. And that's just a shame. And that's the thing. When you feel like you gotta make so many excuses, you know, it's simple stuff to entertain the core audience, in my opinion. You just recreate a couple panels and you'll get our attention, to be quite honest. And then you got to make something quality. And that's what Zack Snyder did. People that couldn't understand the story and stuff like that. No one misunderstood the lore of what Zack Snyder was doing. It's all subjective. You can not like a film. That's fine. These are core lore problems that we have with this show. And again, the trailer setting up the premise. Oh, you know, you gotta know when not to use it. Nah. Then the suit, nah. So I think these are valid concerns without even seeing the show. Still having an open mind, but they better not do this whole thing. Well, maybe I shouldn't use the green. And then you have this. Now, this, let me be very, very clear when I pull this up. This is just rumor. I ain't even looking into this rumor at all. But the rate that this DCU is going, Guns DCU, why not? People are wondering who Matthew Lillard will play. It made up tomorrow. Now again, this is total rumor. I didn't check nothing out with this, so just but reportedly Matthew Lillard will be Jay Garrick in Man of Tomorrow. No. Okay, but again, this is all rumor. I didn't even ask anyone about this, but would we not be surprised? Would we not be surprised? This is how bad this is getting. You people trying to make excuses for James Gunn. This is what he's reducing DC to, where this is plausible and possible to happen. Why not? You're already saying you only one could wear the ring. You got you got physical suits. You don't care about the lore. You're hiding green. Why not? Matthew Lillard be a goofy Jay Garrick from the past. Why not? Oh my goodness, bro. I'd rather him be Shaggy. Do the real Scooby crossover than this. Oh my. Is that bad, right? Is that can we just deny this flatly? Say nah. Now, if we said, Zack Snyder, he's gonna do Jay Garrick, and he picked Matthew Lillard, Zack Snyder wouldn't do that. Nah. It don't even fit his aesthetic. James Gunn? Oh, no. And he would probably not have a suit at all. We got tomatoes. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Jay Garrett. We lose. Good day, sir.
I said good day.
We lose. This is the state of the DCU. And your Plastic Man would be actually hilarious. And that would fit what Gunn would do. But this is what this is being reduced to, man. This is what it's being reduced to. Shaggy Garrett. And I think my guess, I haven't heard what character he's supposed to play. I'm of the opinion he's going to play just like some original dude in the film. Like, I don't think he's going to play a superhero at all. He's just like, hey, you want to come in here and Lillard it up? That's what I think is going to happen. But it's too bad that this is actually possible. And this is a state of the anti-hype of people trying to make excuses of them not showing green. Oh, yeah, they're going to have the ring. Stop making excuses for this stuff, man. People said, Superman's going to get a new suit. Right? That didn't happen. He got the same suit in Supergirl, likely the same suit in Man of Tomorrow. So we got to stop giving them excuses, man. What you see is what you're going to get. And it's going to be goofy. And so with this, to wrap up this DCU topic, someone saw the backlash of the Lanterns and Supergirl, and they asked the interesting question. The DCU gets criticized for things no other movie has ever been criticized for before. Are we serious? Did you just get online after 2016? There's people to this day still doesn't understand BVS's story. To this day. And you're saying the DCU gets criticized for things no other movie? No. Put the violin away. Wipe your eyes. We don't feel sorry for you, gun guzzlers. Again, there's people who watches everything. They're fans of a lot of stuff. You guzzlers, no sympathy for you. Okay, Supergirl has been poorly marketed. Lanterns has been even worsely marketed. Supergirl's box office has a soft return forecast. All this is because of James Gunn and his aesthetic. Okay, I mean, again, just the numbers with Supergirl, though DCEU, Snyderverse damaged the brand, you wouldn't see a Snyderverse spinoff coming out this soft. You didn't. They were loosely connected, but still. Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad, all did over 700 million at the very least, as high as $1 billion for Aquaman. This is the world that you created, James Gunn. And when you see people aren't rocking with the aesthetic, all you did was double down. So no, there's no sympathy for Gunn fans. You got to sit there. I sat there, in 2013, opening day, watching Man of Steel. I thought it was the greatest Superman film I've ever seen in theaters. Actually, it was, because I didn't see the original in theaters or part 2 in theaters. So that was my greatest theatrical experience with Superman. And then to go online on Facebook at that time and seeing people trashing Man of Steel for every little thing, BVS, they don't understand plot points or dialogue, every single thing picked apart. No, DCU fans, you guzzlers, you don't have our sympathy. I say more. We're going to pour on more of what we don't like. But at least with me, I'm going to at least be fair about it. I'll tell you why I don't like something. I'm not just going to pile on. But obviously, this stuff has not been hitting. So we don't feel sorry for you. No. Not at all. That is what it is. Let's get into the Paramount section of the show. Again, much appreciated. The likes, the engagement. Appreciate that overall. Let's see where we are with these likes. We getting there. We getting there. We need more. We need more. Every week, y'all know we always talk about the Paramount deal, sort of counting down to this deal being complete. Right off the jump, as I've said, it was like a couple weeks ago, they were expecting this the WB deal to close as early as July. We're less than 2 months away from that. As late as September. So we're, the third quarter of this year, they are expecting this to close. There's been a lot of talk online about there's this boycott. The actors in Hollywood got 4,000 signatures. We're going to block this deal. Did they really file anything to block this deal? Well, first, anyone in Hollywood saying, "Oh, we need to block this. It's going to hurt Hollywood." I'm going to lean on Jerry Bruckheimer and Emma Thomas, who's Christopher Nolan's wife. So the train has left the station. This deal is going through, most likely. And according to Emma Thomas, these boycotts never do anything. So I'm just use their words for anyone thinking they know the business overall. Are you? Oh yeah, we need more comments in the chat. More comments. But this is the latest of what they're saying with the deal. So let's go into this here. Paramount assembles a legal team to defend the Warner Brothers deal. So Ellison, he's not sitting back waiting on all these antitrust suits that's going to be thrown at Paramount. He's getting very aggressive. He got a big time a big name antitrust lawyer to defend the deal. It says, now this is interesting. He says the studio doesn't expect legal challenges from the Justice Department because they've actually, in a sense, the DOJ has already cleared this deal. But they don't expect legal challenges from state prosecutors or foreign regulators, though Kessler will lead the studio's defense if any are filed. All this talk of this petition and California's like, we got to question Ellison. They haven't filed any suits. They about to just allow this thing to walk right to the goal line. All this complaining has been performative, and they haven't really come with a real suit. They came out saying, they're going to lose jobs. Ellison keeps saying, I want to make more movies per year. So it's not about losing jobs. Yeah, some areas are going to overlap. That's with any merger. But as far as Hollywood, there's going to be more jobs because more movies are going to be made. This is a simple concept. So they haven't filed a suit because they don't even know what they're trying to challenge at this point. Now you got this high stakes litigation guy, Kessler. As it says, he bolsters the legal team. But this is crazy. He says they're not expecting any legal challenges. This is about to close in July unless they file something against this. But if something is filed, Kessler will lead the studio's defense. It says on Friday, a federal judge accepted Kessler's application to represent the studio in a lawsuit filed by consumers challenging the merger. The case is the opening salvo over the purchase that will reshape Hollywood. In a statement, Kessler called the complaint baseless and said it resorts to political scaremongering that is both inaccurate and irrelevant to the antitrust analysis. This is what we say every week. Oh, Trump's going to take this over. Oh, Trump is this. Part of the legal team for Paramount, there were people who represented President Barack Obama. The point, they don't care about the politics. And as he says, this is baseless. So anyone that keeps bringing up continuously, this is Trump and he's going to take over this and that. He's like, this is like, y'all haven't filed a real suit yet. Y'all filed a complaint. So we're gonna talk that down. But a real state legislation, litigation, I should say, they haven't filed anything. So all this talking, all this posturing with 4,000 plus signatures is for nothing. Just virtue signaling. And this is from a guy out there, Kessler. He handles this stuff all the time, and he's handled different parties. This is business, y'all. And that's what I've been saying every week. And again, it's this political scaremongering. That's why I hate politics, low key. Because it's all this fear mongering all the time. It's like, bro, can you just be normal and just talk business? That's all. You can have your worldview. You can do whatever you want, bro. We're just talking about these movies. And I only address the political side as much as I did because it just keeps coming up. But now I think with these words on record, I think we can start moving past even acknowledging it. Just it's baseless, according to that lawyer there. So he says, what do we learn from the complaint is that there's no credible antitrust case to be brought against Paramount Warner Brothers merger. Straight like that. In my many years of practicing of practice, champion competition, and the interests of consumers, athletes, workers, I have rarely seen such a weak case seeking to block a transaction. So before you out there on Twitter, retweeting, oh, I think the deal's in trouble, block the deal, you have no idea what you're talking about. It's baseless, and this is one of the better deals. This guy is saying this, who's handled multiple deals before with major corporations, the NCAA, all kinds of stuff. This guy knows what he's talking about. So just like I leaned on Hollywood when Jerry Bruckheimer and Christopher Nolan's wife was like, boycott ain't gonna do nothing. I'm leaning on the experts. Now, I felt like it was baseless too, but now we have the quote. So anyone coming around talking about that, we're just going to remind you of these words. There's a weak case to block this. Oh, they're going to make less movies. Ellison says, I'm making over 30 a year. So why do you keep saying I'm making less? I'm making more. Easy. Good side note, Kessler, he defended, again, NCAA and other studios. The lawsuit filed by Paramount subscribers last month claimed that the studio's acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery will substantially reduce competition in streaming, news, and theatrical distribution in violation of antitrust laws. Lawyers for the consumers on Wednesday moved for a preliminary injunction to block the deal. This is stupid. Netflix is king of streaming, over 300 million subscribers. You're saying if Paramount merges with HBO, that there'll be less competition? Paramount wouldn't be able to survive if it doesn't merge with HBO. This is silly. Now, you had an argument with Netflix taking over HBO. That would have been too much of a market share. That could have been an antitrust. That's why I said Netflix, they had an uphill battle. That's why they gracefully bowed out. Paramount teaming up with HBO Max, you're still going to have like 200 million subscribers. Still much less than Netflix, less than Disney Plus. So this is baseless. This is a weak case, just like he said. And we're going to keep this rolling going forward to as early as July. Because if they don't come up with a good argument in the next month, this is closing in July. Just like that. That's a wrap. So they need to come with better arguments, or this is going to be a fast non-story. We're going to be talking about Paramount moving into Warner Brothers by the end of this year. Now, if they move in there by the end of this year, you know what time we're going to be on some interesting time. This is going to be about the Snyderverse. Beginning of next year, they need to go and announce, again, presuming this deal's looking like it's going to skate right through. Beginning of next year, once they're settled in by the end of this year, they need to announce, hey, we're taking a crew over to Saudi. We're going to make Justice League 2 and 3. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. And that's what we're on right now about Restore. Not just a couple of days ago, Zack Snyder drops this. And we got the new picture we're going to show in just a moment here. New post, I should say. On Snyder Cut Anniversary Day, May 20th. I remember exactly where I was sitting, May 20th, 2020. But I wasn't sitting there too long because after they announced the Snyder Cut would be released, I was running around my house. Then I jumped on Twitter and I just started meeting as many Snyder fans as I could because of the excitement that we're finally was getting the Snyder Cut. I found it interesting. Zack Snyder, he's been posting DC. He didn't stop after Paramount. Seems like they got the winning bid. Seems like this is going to really close in July. Zack is continuously pushing DC, reminding people we see the connection with the Saudis. Any Snyder fan out there, again, this has been kind of a separation from cornballs out there calling themselves Snyder fans. Yeah, you got some cornballs who I don't really respect too much. I would have went in on them much more, but Zack's been active, so I was like, it ain't time for war. It's time to push Zack Snyder. But you got some so-called Snyder fans out there. Most of them hide their faces. They always got something goofy to say, thinking they're representing Zack Snyder, and they don't understand the Saudi connection. These are the type of people, they rejected Henry Cavill and Black Adam. Snyder fans. So I don't have too much respect for some of these cornballs, but again, we're not in the moment of war right now. I could have really went in on a lot of y'all, but anyway, the Saudi connection is real. Like it's so clear. I don't know how people even act like they don't understand the connection. It's really the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Now, again, we know people have their preferences. They wanted him to go to Netflix, Zack to go to Netflix or whatever. But you got these cornballs. Now, I pulled up one of them on the screen. They crashed out on Twitter because I pulled them up on a Summer Jam screen like a month ago. Because, if it's about Zack, if you're saying you're about Zack and then you're doing stuff that's not about Zack, we're going to have to call you out. But I'm gonna leave that where it's at. Being part of the fandom from the first month all the way through the announcement made that day incredible. Most definitely. So now we're at the point, like that lawyer said, we're slapping away all these baseless and weak arguments. We're showing you the facts. If it's facts, we'll bring it up. But now it's just time. It's not even time to catch people up. You need to go back and watch the streams from the past month or so to catch up. We're not about catching up people anymore. That just is what it is. But no clapback. No clapback. We wouldn't talk about, we were keeping it about Zack right now. So this was just a great moment. And then I found it very interesting. Zack Snyder, he posted that Paramount picture because Zack knows what we're talking about. Like I said recently, everyone was talking about that Dark Knight Returns rumor. And Zack Snyder can do Dark Knight Returns. All week people were talking about that. And then Zack posted an Instagram picture with his clay, the clay sculptures, and he had Dark Knight Returns just sitting in the back there. Because Zack knew we was talking about Dark Knight Returns that week, man. Again, this is the man, Zack Snyder. He teased the Snyder Cut releasing 3 months before he could announce it. He teased it in February 14th, 2020. He showed a new look of the Flash in the Snyder Cut. It's a happy 2/14 day. He couldn't announce the cut yet. 3 months later, he announced the cut. So Zack knows, we know what time Zack is on. So for him, commemorating the announcement day is very interesting. JT says, Zack at Paramount gets him out of theatrical jail. He would have been stuck on streaming. Now jail 2 and 3 will be seen. All the theatrical glory, we missed the first one. Yeah. Well, I didn't miss the first one, JT. I saw it in IMAX. But I want the world to see this in IMAX. The train has left the station. That's it. That's what time we on. Again, it ain't about convincing nobody anymore. This was the best option the whole time. Paramount, mostly because of the Saudi connection. See, if that connection wasn't there, then it would be like, oh, let's see what Paramount does. I don't know. We know Netflix hasn't been messing with Zack Snyder. Someone earlier asked about the Rebel Moon animated project. They went cold talking about any Zack Snyder projects. So before you champion Netflix for Zack Snyder, they need to announce a Zack Snyder project. Then I would go easy on them a little bit. Right now, it's no mercy. It's baseless. It's a weak case overall with that. Sorry about that. The train has left the station. He then reposts fan art, likes people's posts. He watches what is being said. He wouldn't tease his true fans. Exactly. That's the point right there. If it's about Zack, we're following his energy. We're not following someone's hashtag or someone want to make a movement. Like here, it was always about follow and restore. When I started my channel, we were celebrating the Snyder Cut. Then Aaron Cernoff said, that's the trilogy, Zack's trilogy's over. I was like, dang, where'd that come from, right? So it was about restore. Then I started getting my story. We linked up with the late, great Mikey Sutton. Then I started getting my information about Cavill and Ben coming back. It was about restore always. It wasn't about just following me. It was about following Zack. And so that's what's messed up any iteration in this fandom. It started with release of Snyder Cut, and then people started making it about themselves. You got all these fallouts. I never want to steer people down that path. If we want these movies, man, whether I'm here or not. You know what I'm saying? It's about these movies. And when people miss that point, that's when it's downhill for certain people. All right. So I gotta send a message real quick. Pardon me for a second. Well, while I'm doing this, it's a good time to smash the like. Make sure you subscribe. YouTube says I gotta keep telling y'all this. Smash that like. Much appreciated. It's about DC, man. That's all the epic feeling. Like I told her, Jules always makes fun of me when I'm like, I went to go see. I had an early screening of James Gunn's Superman. I may get one for Supergirl. We'll see. But I was just sitting there. I was just like, I just want to have an open mind just to see what he does. And that kaiju scene came pretty early in the film, and it was just really melodramatic. I was like, dang, this ain't really what I was expecting. You know what I mean? The Mr. Terrific stuff was okay. But I was just like, man, I thought Gunn was going to try to do something epic. And then the behind the scenes stuff for Gunn thought looked better than the actual film. There wasn't a lot of action. So I was like, man, I want DC to be great, man. That's what this is about. If Gunn was capable of making great DC, I'm just saying, me personally, and it's a good section of people that thinks like or agrees with me on this, that we will give him his props if he was capable. But we see where he's at. He's about to you gonna make Matthew Lillard Jake Garrett? I don't know. The hype is strong. That's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. We're about restore here. Release and restore. And see, that's the thing, JT, and I think you understand. A lot of people understand when I say this. It's not me just trying to aim at Netflix just because, or even that group. It's not even that deep to me. I'm gonna be really quite honest with that. But if they were actively in the Zack Snyder business, it would be no smoke for them. It'd be like, oh, okay, you got this coming out and this coming out. And Let's see what happens. I would have been champion Netflix, but I knew something was wrong 2 years ago. I was like, this ain't really. What's Netflix gonna do? This ain't really landing for me. So until they atone that, I'm on Netflix head like every time, or anyone that supports them. I'm sorry. If you call yourself a Zack Snyder fan, I can't, bro. Yeah, physical media, that is too bad that they don't have that. So let's see. I was at the director's cut Rebel Moon premiere. If people were honest, Zach and Kurt were asked about the future, they seemed uneasy. Well, yeah, because they were waiting for the green light. They already have the story ready for 3 and 4. I was told this pretty early with that. He has that ready to go. It was a great cliffhanger, right? In Rebel Moon Part 2, like the child's still alive. Like what? like what? Like what's going on? Like it was just such a twist to that. I was like, whoa! I want to see where the story goes now. That was a great ending to Rebel Moon Part 2, and the director's cut, 10 times better. I could still watch the PG cuts. It's just you could tell they edited out a lot of stuff. And Netflix fumbled that. And it just so happens, Raven, that's after Scott Stuber left. See, we had some momentum with Netflix. That was real. Scott Stuber was talking about the possibility of licensing DC. And then he left Netflix. You know what I mean? So that was some real momentum there. It just, when things shifted, a lot of people, like I like how VEGA always say, Zach, kind of goes with the flow or goes with the times, or however he says it. But the point, he changes with the time. So Zach is like, okay, Netflix was an option. And Zach said, hey, if they can get my version of DC, yeah, I'll do it with Netflix. Then Scott Stuber left. That changed. As a fandom, like it sucks. Like things changes all the time. Hamada comes in, Jeff Johns comes and messes up stuff. We've been through a lot as a fandom, but we got to know when to pivot. And that's what I realized 2 years ago. I was like, as soon as they announced the 300 prequel, that he was working with Warner Brothers again, I said, oh, Netflix could be a great option, but let's keep our options open. Then all of a sudden, oh, I hate you, sylabdul. It's like, bro, how'd that end up for the next Netflix gang? How'd that end up? That seemed to be a smart option, a smart approach to not put all your eggs in one basket, right? Because now you got people, they're just making up reasons that, no, Netflix is good with Zach. I'm sure they'll announce something any day now. Meanwhile, Zach's on the Paramount lot. I don't see no Netflix lot pictures, office pictures. So now, man, like we know when to pivot. And that's why we're here now. And Zach is as active as ever. He's more active than ever. And now Paramount's in the picture with the Saudi connection. I don't got to add that up for people anymore. I want scale, grandeur to my DC universe. Gunn managed to include all these characters from all over the place, yet still feel contained like a CW show. Zach made theater experiences. Yeah. And the thing with Gunn, it's just being honest with ourselves. I mean, again, there's a nice section of my viewers. Y'all never gave Gunn a chance. So I don't gotta explain nothing to y'all. Y'all just like, I knew this was going to flop, like whatever. Those of us that gave Gunn a chance, it was like, okay, let's see if he can scale up his film. We've seen it. We know what type of DC we get from Gunn now. He's not an action director. He's a character-driven director. That's better for like smaller projects and D-list characters, C-list characters. There's a lane for what Gunn wants to do. It shouldn't be with Superman or any of the Trinity. That's just where I'm at with that, man. We'll see how Man of Tomorrow turns out. I'll just give my honest opinion on it. But you gotta know what you're good at. What's in your tool set? It's like Gun. Like the best action shot I think you had, Gun, was Guardians 3, and you were copying Zack Snyder with the slow motion. I'm just saying. Hold on. I put my order in. Insane. Let's catch up with the chat here because he has a new post today. We'll talk about that too if y'all coming in. Saying he has a new post. Yeah, we're about to check that out in just a minute. Good job with the likes, y'all. Good job with the likes. Replay, I need y'all to come in strong as well. Much appreciated. Really glad we was able to, like I said, circle this day of the week for the weekly show. Been a really great turnout, and it's kind of taking me back to my original roots on this channel. We just fired up and talk about Zack Snyder. You know what I mean? Looking ahead, because we didn't have the Snyder cut when I first started my channel. We was looking forward. We knew the cut was coming, and we were just firing up and just like can't wait to see it. Now that Zach's so active right now, it's like I just feel like the beginning again. It's like I can't wait to see what Zach posts next, man. Because something has to be coming. You know, I'm just reserved in saying that something has to be coming. I always said, whoever restores the Snyderverse is my friend. Exactly. Like I always say with HBO Max, we was like, as soon as they announced the Snyder Cut, I was like, oh, I'm subscribing to HBO Max. Like I subscribed early. I was like, let me reward them, for banking on Zach and the fandom. Now, again, things went weird behind the scenes after that. But still, I don't regret that. I don't regret rewarding people who's rocking with Zach. I mean, when he started working with Netflix so much, I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep Netflix now. I don't even pay for Netflix now. I get it through my phone company, so that's really the only reason why I have it still. If not, I would have canceled it a long time ago. Netflix. Yeah, the LAPD film. Yes, let's get into this. So his message, then I touched on this Thursday, but let's touch on it here. Again, as he said on his post, on this day in 2020, we announced that we would be completing Justice League as it was originally intended. Special thanks to Henry Cavill, who joined me for the announcement, and to the fans who made it possible for Autumn. And that ties up everything this film was about, right? He was pushed off the theatrical version. It was pretty much a 214 cut, and that's after Autumn passed. And then the fact that he kept feeding us, not even thinking it would work. He just kept feeding us, and we kept that energy for him. And we helped Zach get that cut. No other fandom, that's the biggest victory in fandom history. Zach admits that. Like we helped him get through that. Now it's like I feel it's the other side now. Like Zach's helping us get to the other side now. Because we're just hoping and hoping, and he's keeping it alive. All right. As the picture says, what was broken was made whole again. A silence became a voice. A wrong was made right. On this anniversary, we remember the vision restored. Now, I mean, we take it like that film has been restored, yes, but that film was setting up two other films. Well, actually, it was setting up the Batfleck Solo, the Wonder Woman film, Flash, Cyborg, Adam. It was setting up everything. The balance returned, and as always, in the end, it was the fans who made it possible. The vision restored. We know how purposeful Zach is with his words, right? We know this. Zach said restored. I mean, it was a time Zach was like, could Cell be a thing? Now he's saying restored. That's where our energy is at, y'all. If we're here for Zach. Let's see. History has a way of repeating itself. Yeah, this is like a rebirth for this channel because, I'll be honest with y'all, man. Like I was totally prepared to just be like, kind of go off into the sunset. You know what I mean? So it's y'all's response, these past couple months. I was like, I guess we still got a lot to talk about still. Really, it was like last fall when Zach started getting active again. Because last year it was like, okay, Gunn's doing his DCU, and even when it looked like Netflix was going to win, it was like Gunn and Safran are going to stay if Netflix buys this. So I was like, we'll see. We'll see if Zach had a chance. And then Zach started getting active again last fall. So I was like, let's kind of go back to the old days and just fire it up and talk about Zach and talk about other films and stuff. And so y'all really kept this going. That's why we have a weekly show now. I didn't have a regular schedule last year. And so now it's like we're kind of back in our mode, keeping an eye out, possible restore, right? So it is like a rebirth for sure. For autumn, release the Snyder Cut is forever, a moment in time to be remembered. Restored, Snyder versus next, for sure. For sure. Man, that Hallelujah trailer, that just amazing. Amazing trailer. That was a DC fandom day, right? When that trailer dropped, it got leaked early. And that's the week I started my channel, like DC fandom. Then I started my channel. And that was that trailer, man. You had the feels watching the Hallelujah trailer, man. Had to. This vision is for a future time. It describes the end. It will be fulfilled. It seems slow in coming. Wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed. Wise words, wise words. If you know, you know. We want quality. For sure, for sure. So we had that post. And then today, for no reason, that this is okay. This is insane. Okay. This is insane. I saw this post already, but I'm just pulling it up again here. Zach is not playing around, bro. Like Zach's not playing around. He had a post where he quoted Bruce Wayne. We quoted Bruce, Batman, said the world only makes sense if you force it to. All right. So he likes quoting Batman, Batfleck. He had another earlier post like a month ago when he says, I'm older now than my father ever was. This may be the only thing I do that matters. All right. So it's something with these Batfleck posts that's speaking to Zack Snyder, right? So this one here says, this is about the future of the world. This is my legacy. And you got Bruce Wayne outside Wayne Manor, which will be eventually become the Hall of Justice. You got to get in there, big round table, 6 chairs, room for more. Bro, like, what do you think Zach is telling us, right? Like I made my mind up recently. I'm only going to take this one way, bro. I'm only going to take this one way. There's no other way to take this, man. Like, probably like at first you're like, okay, Zach, kind of memory lane, like in the month of March. He was like, it's just Remembrance Month. I was like, I'm sure it's something more there, but Okay, we'll remember for this month. But it hasn't stopped since March. It hasn't stopped since Paramount is closing in on this deal. Zack Snyder's talking about his legacy with DC to finish his story. That's the only way I could take him quoting Bruce Wayne. It's the only way. Like some of that stuff, now Terrio wrote the script, but I'm sure Zack had input. And sometimes, Zack puts stuff in films, like if you're writing or co-writing, you're putting some of yourself in this film. So maybe some of this dialogue is kind of Zack talking. You know what I'm saying? Like Vega says, I've been thinking the same as literally Batfleck and Superman heavy than the occasional others. Yeah, and I think Zack, that film was speaking for Zack, like some of the dialogue in BVS. Now it's like I gotta kind of go back, and kind of rewatch what angle was Zack putting this dialogue, right? Is this him speaking? Is someone speaking to him? You know what I mean? It's very interesting to continuously using Bruce Wayne quotes or Batfleck quotes. Very interesting. One of Zack's first posts, thanks for the followers, more to come. Oh, yeah, when Zack said there's more to come. Yeah. When he said that, I was like, oh, like he knows we're hype. We're probably sent over the edge every time he posts DC. So he knows how it affects us, the core audience. And he's like, I'm going to give you more. Like, I'm not just teasing you, right? It's more to come. And that's all it's been, Again, as far as our expectations, just to reiterate, I'm not expecting any announcement until the Paramount deal closes, right? Just like back with HBO Max, he couldn't announce the Snyder Cut until the deal was signed as far as their agreement, releasing it on HBO Max, because there was some back and forth. He wanted to do it like chopped up in episodes, and Toby Emmerich pushed back on that. So it was just a mess behind the scenes. So once that got ironed out, he was able to announce the cut in May. I think right now, the circumstances, the Saudis will do Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 at a drop of a hat. They will film it totally in Saudi Arabia. They're already doing films in Saudi Arabia with Hollywood talent. They just need the rights to DC. The Saudis, once this deal closes, will be minority stake owners in DC. And per the terms of the deal, again, I don't see how this gets missed by Snyder fans, by the cornballs. I don't know. Again, I understand the antis want to just lie to themselves overall. This was the leaked deal this past December. Paramount was putting the package together with Saudis, Qatar, Abu Dhabi to have small minority stakes in Warner Brothers. That means extension DC. Each of the three would get an IP, a movie premiere, a movie shoot. Back when this deal leaked, Paramount said, it's categorically incorrect. We don't have any other bidders with us. Now it's official. They have all the bidders, and now they're even at that time, each of them was going to put in $7 billion. Now the Saudis have put in $10 billion, more than the rest. So the deal has to close first. That's why we're saying the deal has to close first. I think they can announce this first thing next year. We're flying the crew over to Saudi, making the Nightmare movie. That's right. That's where it's at, man. That's where it's at. It's so obvious, right? It's obvious. Again, 6 months ago, we was kind of treading like, okay, will this really fall into place like this? Now Zack's only gotten more active. He's posting pictures of Turkey al-Sheikh, the Saudi. You see the Saudis already ramping up productions over there. Once they get their hands on DCIP, we already know what they want to do over there. Unless Ellison beats him to it and says, "Hey, I want to make this in the U.S. in America." Okay, it's fine. Go make the Batfleck film over there or whatever. I don't care who makes it. Just if it's lining up, I'm all for it. A double entendre is a figure of speech or phrase designed to have two interpretations. One meaning is innocent or literal. The device relies on puns, ambiguity, or wordplay to convey the hidden message. For sure, for sure. Yeah, that's what we just read earlier. VEGA, they expected to close as early as July. We talked about the lawyers representing Paramount. They said ain't even a good case against it. It's a weak case against it. It's baseless. Trying to stop this merger. That's their words. And they said they don't expect no litigation from the states, from the federal government, from overseas. So this looks like it's going to close in July. And they even said even if they come up with a suit against it, it's going to be easily defeated. That's what the legal people are saying is for Paramount. So as early as July, as late as September. So that means early next year, I want my JO2 announcement. You don't have to wait. Like I keep saying, you don't have to wait on the 2027 slate. Just like DC didn't wait for the 2023 slate, they announced Gunn's reboot right after Black Adam. Black Adam didn't make a lot of money. Just like Supergirl ain't gonna make a lot of money. She's gonna make less. They said, oh, we got Shazam 2 coming up, The Flash, Blue Beetle, Aquaman 2. Forget it. We're announcing the reboot now. Those films will still come out. Watch them if you want to. That's what they were doing in 2023. So that same energy now. We're about to go make the Nightmare movie and the Batfleck movie. Yeah, man, tomorrow's coming out in the summer. That'd be a nice tie-up for Gunn's trilogy, Superman Saga's trilogy. Superman 2025, Supergirl, Man of Tomorrow. Nice trilogy. Gunn's like, no, it wasn't a trilogy. No. Just like I did Zack. Y'all called his stuff a trilogy. Now it's a trilogy, Gunn. We'll close it for you. Watch it if you want to. Now, Matt Reeves' Batman Part 2, that's going to hit. That's going to hit. So it's like, we all respect to Matt Reeves. His fans still mad at me. But Penguin's great. So I'm ready for Batman Part 2. Like, announcing JO2 is not going to hurt Batman Part 2. And I don't think it's going to hurt Man of Tomorrow, but it's just like, so what? That's really where we're at, man. It's like a so what? Get ready to learn some Arabic, buddy. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, yeah, in the chat, last minute comments or questions, throw it in the chat. I usually try to end this before I get to Snyder Cut levels, so we're about at 3 hours and 30 minutes. It's a good time to wind down. It is also a good time to remind, if you got this far on the video, if you haven't smashed a like, I don't know what else to tell you. We in here cooking. We did really great with the likes, y'all. I really do appreciate. Me personally, like I don't always try to repeat stuff all the time, but YouTube keeps telling me to repeat it, so so I gotta repeat it. But last minute comments or questions, throw it in the chat as we wind this down. As we're seeing Zack Snyder just holding that vision out in front of us. Yeah, can't wait. Something has to be happening. That's just where we're at, man. But like I said, we got to wait for this deal to close, and let's see this movement behind the scenes. Once this closes in July, as they're expecting, then things could really get interesting. So, Carlos says, do you think Matt Reeves' Batman would get a new suit? I'll just say this. I heard he's at least wearing that original suit in a part of the film. So I'm just assuming he has the old suit. Maybe he gets a new one later, like Batman Forever. He had all them different suits. But for right now, I'm just expecting the same suit. I'll just be quite honest with you. They didn't wait to overshadow Aquaman and Flash and Blue Beetle. Exactly. It's like Aquaman 2, that is the most egregious thing. The more I think about how they sabotage their biggest IP, right? Aquaman, the original, was it 2018? Made over 1.15 billion. You had an instant franchise. Wonder Woman made 800 after that, or before that. But Aquaman, 1.15 billion. And you neuter your sequel, you didn't market it really at all. It still made over 400 million just off the strength that you had a franchise right there. But you just announce a reboot before it comes out? That was a travesty. That they sync their own film. And the Flash, my goodness, they was giving that film away. I know some people, they had like 5 different screenings of it. So by the time the film comes out, they're like, do I even have to watch this? I saw it for free. Like, insane. And when has Zach ever trolled his fandom? Yeah. That's why we're strictly going off Zach's energy. That's why I'm really just comfortable saying I believe something's going to happen, because Zach is signaling this to us, right? If there was no way, he wouldn't be teasing this. And then we see a way. We see a way with Paramount via the Saudis. So it's like, that's all in front of us. Again, if Netflix was in the Zack Snyder business, maybe that could have been another angle, but it's not. We're with Paramount, and we're hoping for the best, right? Like, are we guaranteeing it? No, Zach is keeping us hoping. So yeah, I believe they're going to follow through with the Saudis. As a Snyder fan, I think it would be like, hey, like, I'm hoping for the best because I see the connections in this situation. He said that James Gunn Superman Saga trilogy. Like, that's a wrap. Oh man. That's a wrap. Let's see. Catching up with the chat here. Definitely restore the Snyderverse. That's the energy. That's where we're at. Zach is keeping us going. Zach said restored. He said restored. So that's what we're rocking with. Any early predictions for the Nightmare film, Batfleck movie? I'm predicting they both are anywhere from 1.5 billion to 2 billion per film. I think with Batfleck, it could be a scenario. Just kind of follow me with this. Ben, he's getting into the streaming game and AI post work and things like that. And maybe it could be an angle where you facilitate. Again, I believe it should be in theaters. I think it should be some kind of screening. But maybe it'll be a way that Batfleck will get that on streaming to get it out there. Probably have a special screening for it on the theaters and save on costs. You could really save a lot of costs for Batfleck. Yes, I believe there should be a theatrical film. No question. But I just wouldn't rule that out. Ben is really big in streaming and AI now, right? So I just see an angle there, and he would love to do Batfleck movie. So that's one thing. JL2, $1 billion. $1 billion. There's no way. Like, again, everyone loves the Snyder Cut. People get stuck in 2016, 2013. But what happened after that? They watched the Snyder Cut and loves it. You know, the DC brand wasn't tarnished. They made a lot of money after BVS. DC tarnished themselves, not releasing the Snyder Cut when they should have. That's what tarnished the brand. But that's $1 billion. The 214 cut would have made $1 billion in 2017. We know this. We all know this at this point. The 214 cut was basically the Snyder Cut without the nightmare scene at the end. That would have did $1 billion. It would have. And so I think that's what it would do. You know, the theatrical is a weird game now, but the international audience will love big, epic DC. So that's why I think easily $1 billion. Yeah, Michael 2 is coming, and that's going to be interesting. Again, it's early in development stages. I mean, they're going to make it, but the idea of the film, people are like, oh, let's just continue the story, right? From the Bad album to Dangerous. Lionsgate, that's the studio. They know they have like a cinematic universe now with Michael. So there's a scenario where we can get 3 or 4 more films and just make it like every other year, just drop them every other year. So the next film, early idea is they'll probably want to flash back to a couple moments in the, you know, that we didn't get in the first film, but still going forward with the Bad album, show how he made that album and the story is tied to with that. And then set up the Dangerous era, that's the album I grew up on. Michael Jackson, Dangerous. That's just the one I remember most, you know, growing up. I mean, I was listening to everything, but I remember like, I didn't buy, I think my dad or my older brother bought the Dangerous CD or tape or whatever. And that was my real introduction to Michael Jackson. Then I went back and I was young. And then I went back and listened to Thriller and and everything. Off the Wall. That's funny, like Off the Wall, because I was introduced to Michael Jackson. I mean, I knew of Michael Jackson, but I was listening to Dangerous. You went back to Thriller. And then, you know, you kind of going forward. I mean, you know, Jackson 5. It took me the longest to listen to Off the Wall. So just imagine me kind of like at an adult age at this point, and then I finally listened to Off the Wall. I'm like, where was this masterpiece hiding? That's an amazing album, Off the Wall. So I'm just weird like that. I just listen to stuff out of sequence. But Dangerous was my jam growing up. And that song Jam with Michael Jordan in the video, that's great. It was a great album, Dangerous. Anyway, let's catch up with the chat before we close this out. Yeah, that was such a mistake, Aquaman. And then they jacked up the story because I broke the story. Ben Affleck was in Aquaman too. And, you know, that pretty much blew up my internet when I dropped that story when Momoa confirmed me. Like right after I dropped the story. It was amazing. That was just an amazing time. And again, it was all about just, hey, man, we're getting one last ride of Snyderverse. And Gunn comes in, takes out Ben, takes out Cavill from the Flash film, adds Clooney. It's just, you know, that's why I got that Clooney story, because Gunn was taking off people around him. That's how you get leaks. It's got to come from somebody, right? And they thought it was a dumb idea to take out Cavill and put in Clooney. So I broke the Clooney story. Not that I was happy about it. It was like, dang, this is a terrible switch up. So Aquaman, they switched up James Wan's film so much, man. Like they reshot it. They did all kinds of stuff with that film. We didn't see the real version of that. That's a shame. This is a stupid idea. Deathstroke and Bane. What do they have in common? What do Deathstroke and Bane have in common? What do they have in common? They're assassins, true. Yeah. That's the only thing they got in common. Batman. So why are we doing a film? This gives you hope out there. The sky is blue. You're hype about this. Clayface, just because they're doing a different genre, they're doing a horror film, they can get away with Clayface, but it's low budget. Deathstroke and Bane, I think they had like one special comic together where they was together. It's really not like a real connection with them, except Batman. So this doesn't hype me. Oh, it's gonna do that Poison Ivy movie. You're not making money with Supergirl. So how much you think Deathstroke and Bane's gonna make? That better be a streaming movie. This better not go in theaters. Like, are we serious? This cannot bring you any hype. You got the Deathstroke and Bane coming out. The general audience, they're about to ignore Supergirl. But yeah, let's make a Deathstroke and Bane film. It's tone deaf. And you gun fans, y'all guzzling everything. You know, it's not making sense anymore. These are the type of people, the sky is blue, well, we don't gotta see no green. That's how y'all sounding. This universe needs to be over. Because this is not making sense. Wrap this up in Man of Tomorrow. You got your trilogy. It's over. Deathstroke and Bane. Theatrical film? This better not be theatrical. It's a terrible idea. Again, you're kind of getting away with it with Clayface, but you're kind of trying to do a different genre. Deathstroke and Bane, this needs to be an action film. And why wouldn't you have Batman in it? Like, why would I want this story without Batman? This is the Sony Spider-Man-less verse all over again. And I think I'm settling on that Gunn, because though he's co-head of DC Studios, there are DC execs as well. They're over the brand, the marketing, and everything. And I think their committee, they've decided that Gunn can't use Batman or Wonder Woman as a committee. It could be the recency biasness and things like that. Why did Gunn do the Supergirl film? Because the other DC execs wanted Supergirl. That was just revealed to us this past week. That really wasn't Gunn's 100% choice. It's just that the studio is like, okay, we're doing a reboot. We want to get a Supergirl film. Gunn, you're gonna do Man of Tomorrow. We want you to use Brainiac, just like back in the day with BVS. Zach, we want you to use Batman, and we need Death of Superman somewhere in here. You gotta use Doomsday. You know, Zach's a nice guy. He's not gonna, say anything off the cuff too much. But those ideas were pushed on Zach by DC execs. So Gunn and Safran, they co-head of DC Studios, but they still don't make all the decisions about DC. So I'm just saying, whoever ideas Deathstroke Bane film, they should be fired. They should be fired. They should be fired. Again, unless it's a straight to streaming or a series. Okay, cool. Don't come to theaters with this. That's what Marvel is just understanding. DC's about to learn again, putting out Supergirl. The streets ain't clamoring for this. Marvel tried to put out Sam Wilson Cap film. Thunderbolts. Oh, psych, New Avengers. That didn't pop. They probably can't even come out with Fantastic Four Part 2 because that did less than Superman. So you got to put RDJ in your next Fantastic Four film, or just make them team up with other people. You can't come up with these soft films. You can't do it anymore. And especially the brand ain't that high. At least Marvel, was ruling the world. Then it's like, let's just try anything. DC don't have that luxury, bro. You got to come with for real films to theaters or very low budget like Clayface. I honestly don't know who was worse for DC movies, Jeff Johns, Toby Emmerich, David Zaslav, or James Gunn. Well, it's going to be controversial. I mean, well, it's not controversial to say James Gunn's the worst. But why do I say James Gunn's the worst? Because at the very least, Jeff Johns was going to release a Snyder Cut. He knew he was about to lose his job in 2018, Jeff Johns. And that's when he started thinking, hey, maybe I just jacked up Justice League. I just messed up Batfleck's solo script. Maybe I should just throw out the Snyder Cut and save some grace. He got fired before he could do it. Jeff Johns was going to release the Snyder Cut, and just to take credit. He messed up Justice. They should have come up with the Snyder Cut 2018. And that would have actually saved DC. But see, Jeff Johns would have got all the credit. You see? So, but at least he was going to do that. Toby Emmerich, he was going to allow Hamada to bring back Cavill and Ben for a crisis event. Again, all these people are terrible, but I'm just saying, we would have got Snyderverse with all these guys. Zaslav, one last ride to Snyderverse with DeLuca and Apty. Zaslav was going to do it, and then they put too much on Black Adam. James Gunn had Cavill right there, announced that he's back, said, nah. So James Gunn is the worst. James Gunn is the worst. Just saying. He's done the worst. Let's see. Let's catch up with the chat because I'm going to close this down. Right about the 3:41 mark. It feels like a troll job. Appreciate you, Vic Martino. We'll be here every week, Saturdays, noon Eastern Standard Time, approximately, for the weekly show. This is the WB Paramount Saudi's DC Snyderverse weekly show. We talked the real about this deal. It's looking like it's going to close in July. All that fear mongering out there saying, oh, they're going to lose jobs. All these fake signatures or whatever Hollywood's, Mark Ruffalo, whatever he's talking about. Paramount's lawyer, we just read his quote today saying it's a weak case against this deal, baseless arguments, fear mongering, scaremongering. That's all people are doing. So I'm going to take the experts' word on this. A lot of fear mongering. All right, let's see. Lost my comment. There we go. So all the above. That's wild. Oh God, Peacemaker's an effing joke. Nothing more than a skip. Peacemaker, season 2, I felt season 2 was actually better than season 1. I couldn't really get through season 1. Season 2 actually had a strong start. And then we see James Gunn doesn't know how to finish series. He's terrible at finishing seasons. He dropped the ball. That was one of the worst finales. He did the same thing with Creature Commandos. I said, Gunn, he's good at this character stuff. He's good at that. But this wasn't, Peacemaker didn't need to happen at all. That story didn't need to happen at all. There was some interesting elements on it, but he could have been putting his energy towards something else in DC. Oh, Stargirl. Yeah, Jeff. Hey, obviously, we're not fans of Jeff Johns, but that's one of the best DC shows, Stargirl. I'll rewatch that like periodically. And I mentioned his Lantern run. That's the first Lantern run I read was Jeff Johns. So I always give him credit for that. He should have stayed from movies. he ruined the Snyderverse, botched up Justice League. in 2017, and then he realized how much of a mess he made, and he was going to release a Snyder cut, and they fired him before he got a chance to do it. That's crazy. Yeah, Gunn came in the door, and some of the higher up DC execs is against the Ayer cut as well. I don't know why. They've been against it as well too. But yeah, Will confirmed what the late great Mikey Sutton was saying, that the Ayer cut, that was really about to happen. And Gunn came in the door, fired Cavill, shot down Ayer cut like immediately. The first two things he did. Insane. Put the gun down. Yeah, Gunn's the worst. No, Gunn really is ending up being the worst possible choice. It's amazing. It's amazing how it turned like this. Because I would have said, Jeff Johns obviously would have been a worse choice before that, because he's the one that damaged Justice League, right? So I always had extra smoke for Jeff Johns, but at least he was going to try to release a Snyder cut and save face. At least he was going to do that. Gunn is just like, it's Ruffalo guy acting like they had some kind of block on this deal. They've been called out. Appreciate you subscribing, Vic Martino. Also during the week, I'll have some pop-up coffee talks. It'll just be some streams when I'm able to during the week. But the main show is the Wednesday show. You thought season 1 was better? Season 1 probably ended better. Season 2, that finale was, oh my goodness. He had like something interesting with that alternate universe, and then his brother's alive in that universe, but then he becomes his enemy. That should have been a whole show right there, the rest of the show. He tried to finagle some stuff together after that. It really killed his season. It's a shame. But that's what Gunn is. Gunn is shooting blanks. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. There's definitely going to be new PR people. David Ellison is very interested in DC, and they were already recruiting people to do DC projects before they put in the bid for Warner Brothers. They just knew they were going to win somehow. Insane. They have their own ideas. So those DC execs, Ellison's going to own all of this. So whatever he wants in DC is going to happen, right? And whoever he don't want there, if you don't like their ideas, they're going to be out of the way. So this will be an interesting cleaning of the slate of DC, probably for the first time. Because if you go back with Warner Brothers being bought by Discovery, Zaslav and his team, they didn't know anything about DC or nothing. They're just merging, a clean merge. You keep doing, I'm the boss now, but you just keep doing what you're doing. Same thing with AT&T. They bought Time Warner Brothers, AT&T. They're a phone company, communications company. Y'all just keep doing what y'all doing over there, right? If Netflix would have got this, we're a streamer. Keep doing what you're doing. Paramount this is an actual studio buying Warner Brothers. That's one thing. And then David Ellison has name-checked DC multiple times. And they've already been recruiting people to do DC. So I think it's going to be a clean, hopefully, clean sweep. Yep. That's Jeff Johns. That was he saw just how much egg was on his face from Justice League and the mustache thing and the Liam Neeson looking Steppenwolf and all that stuff. And he was like, crap, I need to release a Snyder cut. And he was like, that's an interesting idea. You're fired. It's like, dang. So he kind of got fired because of Zack Snyder. So that's actually good. That's a good ending, I guess. But just imagine what DC would have been if they would have, you did 2017, Joss's is crap. and then you come back and say, okay, we messed up. Let's put the Snyder Cut out 2018. That would have saved DC right there. But they tried to go the opposite way, do Birds of Prey and all this stuff. And they dropped the ball. That's what tarnished DC. Not BVS. They made money. It was Justice and not releasing the Snyder. So it was Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns tarnished DC. We just put it like that. All right. Well, I'm going to slide on out of here, y'all. Again, much appreciated. We're just 10 minutes away from the 4-hour mark, so it's not like a superstitious thing with me. I never want to go over 4 hours. But much love to Still Nation. This was the weekly show. And for sure, keep your eye out for drops during the week. Become a member. There'll be bonus videos for members. Become a Patreon, link in the description. That's where my scoops and exclusives are at on the Patreon platform. That's that here. Patreon.com/sylabdul. And we're going to go and slide on out of here for the weekly show. More to come. We're here weekly. There's always something to talk about with this show. Vega, I'm going to hit you up soon. Again, much love. Trying to find that off button. We out.
Watchmen forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word? Yo, still, we need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, still, we need to know the ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show. Let's go.